Hey y'all! Welcome back to the Harbingers D&D campaign. Woo! We are so excited to have you all here. Um, Back for the adventure. Woo! um, Woo! Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's nothing to really announce. So let's just dive right into the recap done by none other than a day.
Hello. So, previously on the Harbingers, we everybody met up in the morning, and we decided to all go out to. We had met up with what's his name, Draw Tough Hammer, and we're off to go visit his family over in Dragondale. As we're on our way to, of course, the desert for our Jackware problems, the uh, mission that we accepted. Um, Not much really happened along the way. Inside Dragondale, we were had a little bit of a reunion with Dane. Got to the night before there was Sierra, or not Sierra, Nuri and Amaris were went to go visit. Well, reunion with the Tough Hammers. We had a whole bunch of fun there. Uh, Nuri and Amaris went to go visit Dane in the temple. Douse went to go join them, but was hesitant and did not go that night. Nuri followed him back and called him out on it. And it came to fruition that they were very much aware he had some feelings for Dane. And so that there was a little bit of bonding there between Nuri and Douse as they
You,
were
you could say a little bit of the tea was spilt.
a little bit, yes. Not so much hard feelings anymore between the two. Um, the next morning, they had their quick everything to go on, take care of, ate breakfast. Douse went to go spend his time with Dane now that he had the chance. And then we all went off into the desert. Along our way, we ran into a caravan more or less, of people who seemed to be dying of thirst and very dehydrated. Turns out they were more refugees, as their place had been overrun with jackwares. They were able to get out, thankfully, in time before anything bad happened. But they had a mysterious friend following them in the form of a sand manta ray, which became best friends with Douse, and everybody else was having fun as well. Um, yeah, at the end of the night, they found a rock to take shelter in, and that is where we are.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. Move move my mouse. Anything else to add, anyone? Nope, we're good. Okay.
Talk about
All
how we're
right.
in the desert, right?
Yes, we are
Sorry.
in
Okay, excellent.
the desert.
Oh, also, Dusty and Douse had a sparring session in the middle of the night.
Right.
Dusty lost.
PvP-ish. Dusty did lose.
Pretty
That
hard.
was kind of surprising, but also not at the same time, because Dusty's like a big guy going against a little guy, so you like expect him to win, but then Douse just like,
It was narratively interesting.
Wow, I missed a lot.
Oh yeah, Amaris, Megan's back. Also, announcement,
yeah.
yay, Megan's back.
Guys.
We did show Tax a waterfall in the backyard.
Yes, you guys did some cute
Little
little stuff with
miniature
the Tough
waterfall.
Hammer family. Alrighty, so just so everyone knows, nope, that's oh heavens to Betsy. If I can, move things.
It's okay, you're still a great DM.
Oh, thanks. You guys are so sweet. You make my
I'll
heart
take the
happy.
compliment.
Does that mean I get inspiration,
I didn't
Emily?
say anything, but I'll take it.
Oh, I don't know if compliments, is quite the bribery. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, just so everyone knows on the map, they are where the triangle is. The red triangle. If you can see that deep. They're in the desert. We
About a
are gonna
day's walk out.
a day's walk away from the little town. We were in the open desert. Right. And let me pull Amaris on there and boom. Okay. Alrighty. So as you guys wake up from a very chill evening, or well, night's rest. Yes, Marilla?
It probably doesn't matter. But even as we closed last time, I realized we didn't set up watch. Can I just say Merilla took first watch?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes,
Okay,
you
thank
may.
you.
Watch was held. The night
Alarm was set.
alarm was set.
Oh, that's right.
Douse woke up in the middle of the night after his shower, realizing he's covered in dust and dirt because of the shower.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, that was a bad idea. But
As you all wake up in the morning, and it is already starting to get pretty warm. It's pretty early in the morning because you kind of woke up with the sunrise. And since it is starting to like get into summer at this point, it's starting to get kind of unbearably hot. Um, mm, Not quite into the, 120s and stuff, but it's definitely, since it is morning, it's about 80 degrees out right now. It's not too bad. A little warm, but it will get hotter as the day goes on.
Just a suggestion. I don't
Yeah.
know about you guys, but maybe we should break up how we normally sleep and walk in the nighttime. I don't know. Maybe stay in the shade of the rock for the rest of the day. It's really hot.
I think that's not a terrible idea. Ugh,
Would
I don't know why people
y'all-
want to retire in warm places. This is awful.
Would y'all be able to sleep in the heat?
Guess
Well,
that sounds like it,
that's
right?
good question.
It is a very good question.
And I mean, might be easier for you elven folk. I know you guys don't really sleep much. You meditate, if I'm correct.
Very smart
I-
of you.
I don't know. Merrill, would we be able to change our sleep schedule like that? I'm just trying to think of how it might be easier for me. I have no idea.
Hmm. Nuri, do you have anything wide pieces of cloth in your knapsack?
Well, let me look real quick. Gonna dig around in it.
Because
I
I'm
got
thinking,
some-
I've seen you use the mage hand spell, and I know that one too.
I
If
have a
maybe between
bedroll.
us, we could make like a canopy that follows us everywhere. That way we're always in the shade. Perhaps that might work?
That's actually a very good idea. I like that idea.
We couldn't hold it forever, but for some amount of time, maybe might be worth it.
Or we could like tie some bedrolls to some torches. We just don't light the torches, but then we can like hold it up, take turns.
Oh yes, we definitely don't want any more heat. Dusty, what do you usually do? Or do you just
Uh,
bear it? You are wrappings, I guess.
I'd just kind of bear it. You get used to it.
That
Does
Although
wrappings
sounds
make you
it
get
horrible.
might be
hotter?
good to have some kind of way to avoid the heat. If we can find shade, that's usually best.
I mean, I have water and lots of it.
But like, what would we use it for? Other
Just
than
douse
drinking.
ourselves.
Clearly,
Then we'll
just
get-
douse ourselves.
Then we'll get muddy.
None of it's
We
just
could
like
put-
your head or something.
We'll be hot and
Yeah.
sticky and wet. That's awful. You can do it if you want, but count me out.
Well, I'll try it, but in the meantime, I need to do my morning routine. As I'm gonna go water some bushes. He walks out. And he's gonna go
What
to fill up his
bushes?
bracelet.
You walk over to the side and what?
He's gonna use that time to step out of view and fill up his bracelet with water.
You can start
I
using
mean-
your decanter and like spilling it over your bracelet, and the water just gets sucked in.
Yeah, that's right. Just take a good long drink. Might be a while till you get another one. I'm just holding it.
We can all see what he's doing super clearly if we just turn around, right? Because it's pretty flat, I'm
No,
imagining.
I went around the back, so I'm.
So
it's not
there's a
too hot that
giant
it'd be in the
rock.
sun.
There's a
Literally,
giant
we're
rock.
back.
that you
Oh, I
guys-
thought we already started going off. Okay.
No, you guys are
My
at the
bad.
rock, and so he just literally went to the other side of the rock, basically.
Okay.
So if you guys just like moved to the other side of the rock, you could see him. Like just took like maybe 5 steps.
Really doesn't want to get out of the
However,
shade.
I will be yelling at you for invading my privacy because I claimed to go out there to water some
Water
bushes.
the bushes. Yeah, we got you.
I love the use of the bathroom in this campaign. It's all just to do sneaky stuff. That's the only time.
Oh no, Douse is totally going to the restroom himself as well when he's over there. You know, just legitimate use.
I was gonna say something, but I'm gonna mute myself.
He's just gonna take a little bit extra long to do so.
Okay, with that image getting kicked out of our minds, we are going
I
to
scarred the whole audience.
skip back to the
You
main
scarred me. Anyways,
I missed something, but that's okay.
Amaris, what do you think of this unbearable heat?
Well, it is, as you said, unbearable, and
Mhm.
it would be a good idea to have shade of some kind as we are going along.
So it's decided. We'll use somebody's cloth, and you'll carry a torch. Nuri will carry a torch, and I'll use one of my own torches. And we'll just carry shade with us the whole way. Yes? Does that sound good to you? And we could also enlist Dusty. He's rather tall. We could just tie it to his head. No need for a torch.
sure.
It's like a wedding dress. Tash said.
You're cutting out there, Sierra.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's
Okay,
really
it's
not
like-
what I was thinking of, but that's really funny.
I'm laughing so hard because I'm just imagining like this wedding train on Dusty, where it's like it's his head, right? But it's going backwards. It'll be like kind of like a triangle with 2 people holding up either end. There's a long wedding veil.
Who's
Wow,
the bride, Dusty?
Bum, bum.
I made it. I finally made it.
Dusty
You've
bride.
arrived.
My goodness.
Rolled another nat 20 on persuasion.
True. Also,
Oh.
Greg, it seems like every campaign you end up with a girl or like some sort of fiance by the end of it, so who knows what'll happen.
You never know.
I'm not the only one.
Nope.
Greg is cursed. bound by
Actually,
this
yeah.
curse as well.
Wait, no, that's true. I was like, no, I don't know if every D&D. And then I thought back, and all of the ones I've played for more than like a couple weeks, yeah, that's weird.
I'm like laughing.
Anyways, So, you guys, are you making this train of shade?
Well, first we need to get the cloth. What cloth are we
I
gonna
have
use?
a bedroll. Will that work?
No, that's far too small.
It's a British bedroll. Okay.
It's like a sleeping bag.
Yeah. Let's see.
So it's only like the
What if-
length of Nuri.
Yeah, so it's like the length of like a sleeping pad, basic. It's more like a sleeping pad than a sleeping.
Let me check my inventory. My bag.
What if we had
Your
two
inventory.
sleeping
Let's take
rolls?
stock.
Would you say?
What if we had two like two bedding rolls and like somehow tied them together with like rope or something?
That would make it a little bit longer.
How would you tie them
Hmm.
though? And make them stay together without punching holes in the bag?
Rope.
Could
You
punch
like
holes
scrunch
in
up
the
the
bag.
edges, so it's kind of like one like this.
Hmm.
You tie it.
Unzip them, unbutton them. Just like
I don't think zippers exist yet.
Yeah.
tie. Just take the
Right.
Velcro off.
Right.
I don't think
Right
Velcro
here,
exists.
No, right here, right now. We're inventing zippers and Velcro.
Oh my-
Right
You
now
take
in
the-
the desert.
No, they're buckles, so you just click them in.
I got you. Hold on.
Hmm. Can you make me a promise? If I offer something, not to hurt it in any way, shape, or form.
How do we hurt like a
Okay.
bedding thing or a piece of cloth?
Tearing, staining, dirty beyond all repair. I guess that is staining, but would you treat it with the utmost respect?
As much as you can give something
Yes.
in the desert. Yes.
In the
Will, and she kind of like rummages in her pack we were at by the rock. And she pulls out her shawl that she has been wearing for most of this time, except for when we switched to desert attire, and she's like, JK, this is too hot. Because she tried to wear it yesterday. Not yesterday.
Mm.
Yes, our yesterday in the campaign, but it didn't work out. It's like the yellow cloth you can see in her portrait that she kind of like wraps around herself like a poncho. It's probably wide enough to accommodate the four of us. I don't know about Douse. Comfortably, or three of us.
It's probably wide enough to like if you guys were all standing together in a square, basically, it would probably cover the four of you, just like at the very tips of your like head and cover.
Dusty did it in real life. What I was thinking. He did it. Not torn.
All I'm saying is those are connected.
What? What is that?
They're two pieces of. I watched him do it. He scrunched up the edges, like I was saying, and he tied the edges together.
Victory.
You can do it in real life. Because if we have two, we just tie the sides together.
And I wasn't using rope. I wasn't
Okay,
using rope here.
okay.
Yeah.
Make
was
a
all for-
survival check. Make a survival check. We're
Welcome
gonna
to Rosemary Studios, where
Okay,
we
first
teach you how to survive in the desert.
don't do
wait,
this at home.
who has the highest survival?
Merilla has 3.
4.
Oh, lies.
Douse
Merilla
is
has
still
6.
watering his bracelet.
Ooh, maybe we
I
have
got you.
Merilla do it.
Okay, so are you tying bedrolls or the shawl?
Let's
Yes,
go
let's do all
bedrolls
of it.
first.
Bedrolls, because they're bigger.
Yeah.
Put together, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, step aside, youngins. I know how to tie a knot.
Y'all a sister.
Does Dusty actually say that?
No. But he does say, well, I can give a hand.
All right. Well, this is going to be a true trusty sailor's knot, so pay attention.
You do get advantage because Dusty is eating you.
Okay. So 16.
16? Okay, you manage to tie them together in a very nice sailor's knot. You have done this many times before in your
With
youth.
sails.
With sails. Um,
That was
with
way
sa-
too pleasurable, sorry.
and you are able to make a big tarp, basically, that could cover your whole party.
I
Wait,
imagine
now,
Douse comes back from around the
Yes.
rock as she's doing this, like, what on earth is going? What?
is this really that weird, Douse?
Yes, I was gone for what? A couple minutes?
And now we're
What are
tying
you
stuff
doing?
together. What's so weird about that? Don't you ever tie stuff together?
Yes.
So then why is it weird?
We
'Cause
got
they're
bored while you were
bedrolls.
away.
Yeah, we
Got bored
thought
while
you
you
might
were
need
away.
some shade. Otherwise, your water,
Oh,
right? You're
for
concerned
shade.
about your water.
Okay. I'm sorry.
You don't
I understand the water. It was just I came in on something I had no idea what was going on. And seeing you tie bedrolls together is a little strange. Let's be honest. Without context, it's strange.
All right.
Sure.
I suppose that's fair.
All right, let's begin, shall we then? Everyone had some food already? Everyone eaten?
Yes.
I have some cinnamon bread if you guys want some toast. We can leave it out in the sun for a little bit.
On the rock.
Yes.
Oh.
Little upset. Okay.
Thinking about maybe she didn't have breakfast already.
All right, might as well take the cinnamon bread now. You never know. That'd be wonderful. Thank you, Douse.
No problem.
Too bad it's
Okay.
not fruit tarts, but they wouldn't have survived this heat.
Okay, so after breakfast and building the shade rig with, are you using torches at the end to keep it up? At the ends?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, why not?
Fantastic. I mean, Dusty'd be totally fine. You just lugging him in the front and doing
We
the
make him like the front corner.
trail.
So this is just gonna be this really like haphazard rig, basically, that could fall apart at just any second. You just don't even know. The blankets won't fall apart. You tied those in a nice sailor's knot, but like the torches,
It's a little bit
It's-
different, I guess.
it's a little different.
You can actually use rope for that to wrap it around. No problem.
Okay, you can use rope. If you use your rope, you could do that, and it's together, no problem.
We'll use my rope. It's tied around, and that the rest is in my bag.
Yeah, 50 feet will definitely cover that.
Yeah.
All
So-
right. Well, this is a little bit heavier than I thought, but all right.
So it's been about an hour, I would say, that you guys, with eating and packing up camp and making this rig, you've spent an hour of your morning next to this rock.
No regrets.
All right. Who is
Guys,
going
I
to
think-
not?
Guys, I think I got a little sunburn from the rock.
Well, when you're on the sea, the worst place and most often place you get sunburned is underneath your nose. So it's very possible you did.
Does it look like I have a red mustache now?
No. No, I was just reflecting on my past experiences. It's nothing to do with you. Other than you just might get sunburned in ways you may not expect.
Does she have a red mustache?
High or low, Amaris?
No.
I'll make Merilla a liar.
Hi.
You do not have a red mustache.
No, you look normal.
Okay, that's good.
You've saved under your nose
Well,
We're just gonna end that sentence there.
shall we go?
Hold on, everybody. Let's fill up your water.
Oh,
Douse
yes,
go around with
please,
his endless
Douse.
concanter to make sure everybody was good.
Okay.
You know, Douse, I did give you some unnecessary trouble about the water, but I will concede this was a good idea.
Character arc.
I'm glad you agreed.
It's very useful right now.
Yes, and you all drink it gratefully. Because it has been under the 80-degree weather, you've been working up a sweat.
I'm getting sticky ribs. As
Douse is gonna wet
shall we
his
start
head
walking
underneath
back?
it. Let's go.
Who's going to
Wonderful.
rest first, and then how are we going to change? And like as we go, she starts this conversation.
Well, if you ever need to, you could ask Richard to help. Did you forget Richard already?
No, I switched names. I got names confused in my head.
Well, yes, I did think about that too. He can't be here forever though.
Oh, that's true.
Just for a while, but it could be worth it. Yes.
Hand it here. Douse will take it.
We've just started. Don't insult my strengths with your chivalry.
In 30 minutes, you'll switch out.
Probably. She's not that strong.
Dusty doesn't get a break though. He's part of it
It's just tied to him.
on his shoulder.
Okay, so you guys continue forward. Where are you
Welcome to
headed?
D&D.
Just
We're going towards the town that
Yeah,
the town. So
Um,
Dusty knows the way. So Dusty, you're leading everyone towards the town.
I've got the corner of it, and
We're all just following.
Yeah, he's in the
trailing
lead. He has
behind.
to be in the front because otherwise he can't see anything.
we promised that little girl to go save her manta rays.
We did. Land to raise.
Lanta rays.
Hey, hey!
Good job, Greg.
Oh, thanks.
The Lanta Rays. Maybe I should just rename them to Lanta Rays.
Dirt
Should we-
arrays, sand
should we make
arrays.
I mean, I had them as just like mantas is what they were called.
I like mantas, but
Okay, they're just
lantas is also
mantas.
funny.
'Cause
They're
technically-
mantas, but Douse knows manta rays from the ocean. That's what he calls them.
Yes. Anyways, you guys are going. Alrighty.
Yes.
Wait, did I get rid of it? Sunday.
Good job.
I don't actually have mage hand.
No. Such
Oh
a
well.
sad day. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see. All right. So you guys continue traveling. It's going to be about a day's journey to make it to, the place. The little village, basically. So as you guys continue walking, it's been a couple hours at this point. You've definitely switched off a couple times on who's been carrying and stuff like that. Like the person who's been carrying the longest will always like switch out with the person who hasn't been carrying and stuff like that. And it is now about 90 degrees outside, sweltering, blistering heat.
Does this reflect on the water that comes out of my endless decanter?
Well, I mean, it's not pouring water right now.
Well, no, but I mean, throughout the day, I might wet my head if it's cold.
I would say that your decanter is always going to be just like slightly cool. And that's kind of like the temperature that it always is. It's just slightly cold.
Magic.
Okay. I'd use that to cool down a few times if possible.
Okay. Perfect. All right, so you can cool down, you can help others cool down if they want. Okay. Can one of you guys roll a d20 for me?
I can do that.
Yes, Amaris is back.
Roll that d20.
Oh no. That is a 2.
That is a 2, I see.
One step up from a nat 1.
Woo!
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let me consult the box. Roleplay amongst yourselves while I consult the box.
The box.
Sorry, guys.
My goodness, this heat. And you lived in this, Dusty?
Yep.
Why?
It's safe.
Oh, that's fair.
Fine.
I mean, I guess it would be safe because no one wants to come out here. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
if you know
why
how
do
to
you-
survive in it, then you're pretty much away from the rest of the world. Like those travelers that had passed us, you generally come to the desert to avoid people. And yeah, it's a good place to do it.
But why do you want to avoid people, Dusty? I mean, it's a perfectly respectable decision, but just makes me curious.
Oh my goodness, Amaris, I just remembered something.
What?
Douse said something really crazy. Okay, so he was at the temple and he was visiting Dane, right? Super amazing.
Mhm.
And guess what? There's a rumor going around that someone has woken up from the coma.
Yes, definitely.
Isn't that so exciting?
There,
That
What?
it's from the apparently the alchemist that helped them out.
alchemist?
Yeah, they're up in. Let's see if I can pull up the map real quick.
The alchemist?
But yeah, I think they're just north of the desert. Is where they were last seen.
North is where we're coming from.
South of the desert.
It must be.
Hmm. So chances are this alchemist has the ability to bring people out of the coma, if I'm understanding that correctly.
That is the theory. I was telling Nuri. I mean, it's just hearsay. There was a man with. He was described as a blue man, not similar to me, but he was a lighter color, and he was taller. Apparently, he came through Dragondale previously. He met Tax, he met Mary, all of them over there, and he had shared with the people at the temple about this alchemist who had helped someone wake up out of a coma. And so it's hearsay, so I don't know how true it is, but it is something we can look into.
The fact that there's a rumor is incredible. There has been no rumors about anyone waking up for the last 2 years. I know.
Well,
Been keeping my ear out.
yes, but it is one man who said it. We don't have any other confirmations. We don't know the trustworthiness of this single man. Though he did invent showers.
The alchemist invented showers?
No, I forget his name, but he was in. Now I'm forgetting what he was.
Artificer?
Yes, the artist. I want to say the altruist.
Asian.
Like, no.
Is it the
Asian.
blue elf? The artificer?
Yes, the
I
artist.
don't think he invented them.
He
Oh, hold
built
on.
them there.
He was, yes, but that doesn't mean he invented them.
Blue elf?
Yes. A blue elf came. He did some good deeds in Dragondale. He said that there was someone who woke up from a coma and left. Take that for what it is.
It's very interesting, Amaris. I know you were pretty distracted while we were there because of Dane and all, but he is an artificer from down lower in kingdoms that aren't so great, but I digress. He's a blue elf. He wears all blue. He has white hair. His name's Azen. I honestly don't know what he's doing so far up this direction. And then
White
to build
hair?
showers.
Who said he had white hair?
I'll call someone saying he had white hair.
I
Let me
think
go back
Tax
and
told
look.
us.
Oh, I missed that.
I wrote it down somewhere. I have
This
several
heat
notes.
is erasing my memory.
It'll do that to you. Here, cool down a little bit. We'll just splash you with some of the water. That is relatively cool.
Okay, wait. Define splash. Because that was a dunking motion.
I mean, I imagine it's about as big as your regular water bottle opening, so I wasn't expecting a lot to come out. But yes,
She
that
just
was a
kinda
dunking
takes it.
motion.
So maybe if we have some time, we should go look for this alchemist.
We definitely can. I mean, we are currently on. I told Nuri this. We are currently helping out Dusty, and we said we would.
Of course,
think-
of course.
We should take care of that, but there's nothing saying we couldn't, as soon as that was done, head even further south and look into this before returning.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys continue walking.
I was right. He does have white hair. I found the note. I don't remember who said it.
It's okay.
A stranger came to town. He has white hair, blue skin, blue cloak. He has a silver feather.
as Nuri starts
that's
descending
right. That's
into
right. I
a
forgot about that.
heat wave of laughter, giddy laughter, you see up ahead. Oh, that is extremely tiny. Making this bigger.
Just saying, guys. Notes. This is why you should always write
Ooh.
down everything you hear. This is just what I'm saying. You all should think about getting your own notebooks. A good quill. Mine's very good. I mean, you have to study really hard to get a quill like this, but
Study really hard. You won it? It's a trophy of a sort?
Paper
it's a
doesn't do
magical
well with
quill.
water.
There's magical things you can learn, though. Like keep it. Yes, there's things you can learn, and you're on land right now, so you could still
True.
take notes. Actually,
You could take notes.
Alrighty.
Hold up a second. So that's a really good point. So if they have all these ancient tomes in the monasteries, how do they keep them if it's underwater?
They're written on other objects.
Yeah, they're
Like
not like paper
wood,
tomes.
Stone tablets.
Stone.
It would have to be that.
Yeah, Ten Commandment style.
I
just
was
not
just
cracks them.
thinking that, actually.
You have the ancient
It's
10
like, oh, that's what happened to them.
Yeah, you have the ancient 10 commandments in the library, in your monastery, just vibing,
Oh
chilling
my gosh,
there.
that means the Ark of the Covenant is in the water genasi. Oh my gosh, they what?
is it though, or would it be in a different temple though?
Okay, but the Ten Commandments are technically in the Ark of the Covenant, and for being like real life lore specific.
Listen, if we're talking about the
Okay,
lore,
But hold on, hear me out. Hear me out. What about Indiana Jones? He found the Ark of the Covenant, didn't he?
see,
Actually,
I
it
mean-
was Indy Bones, and he was a water genasi that was very adventurous. That they kicked him
Wait,
out of
okay,
the
Douse say
monastery.
would you look at this lore?
I vote that they actually just they took it from the temple, the Water Genasi Monastery, and then they put it where they found it, and then Indiana Jones. So technically somebody else found it first.
Basically.
We're way off track. Okay, let's continue.
Anyways, guys,
Sorry.
what you see. No, I love you all. Okay,
Aw, this
so-
was part of my quill.
Oh, thought you were saying "aw" to the "I love you." So, geez, okay, I love you too.
No, I love you too, but I also love my quill.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, well, so what you see coming up is this giant. So, okay, how many of you have seen Avatar: The Last Airbender? Everyone here?
Dane? Oh,
Okay,
that's
that's
like
great. So remember the sand benders? Yeah,
Mhm.
so and they're
Oh,
giant
I've
like
been waiting for them.
ships. You've been waiting for them. And they're giant like little like sailboat kind of sand ships. Okay.
Beep, beep.
Okay. So this is what you see. Yes, on the map it looks like a rowboat, but it's not that. So
that'd be
it's got these.
hilarious.
That would be hilarious. It's got these two big kind of like boats on either side with a flat wooden platform in the middle, with a giant mast with a huge sail in it. You see that there also is kind of like a steering mechanism. Because right now it's just a little sandy, so it's kind of more on, it's not as deep of sand here. It's more like rocky terrain, like lots of little rocks, gravel, loose dirt. Um, so it's as it comes sailing past you guys, um, you see that there is um a man with red hair, that's just braided and flowing back. Actually, an elven man. Um, that is at the front of where the steering mechanism is, and he's wearing a big hat, kind of wide brimmed, not quite cowboyish, I'd say more piratey-ish. Um as they are careening around, you see that there is a Kenku on board, as well as two humans, a girl and a boy, as they are all similarly dressed for like desert garb, thin garments, um, hoods, and they actually all are all wearing like goggles and bandanas over their mouths. They've got lots of like barrels and like coverage on their big like raft thing here as well. Um, and you see the one of the humans with the blonde hair. He's actually like holding what looks to be like a stick. Um, and he kind of like waves it up in the air, and they start to slow down as they're coming towards you guys. Um,
Us in our
and
line underneath
okay, I'm gonna move
some
you guys over here because
beds
technically you're not by the
tied.
rock. Yeah, underneath your like bed sheets, basically.
Yeah, just like, yeah, it's a good
You
sight.
just decided not to get out of bed this morning. That's all.
Hmm.
Sorry, still have our bed sheets in.
A traveling bed. Boom. Oh,
Okay.
no.
I feel like we're all really scatterbrained today, just like all over the
Who are the artificers now?
Anyways,
This is
so
my invention.
The double-decker couch.
So
they
everyone can watch TV together and be buddies.
What? Say
I
that
don't know
again?
how many things we just quoted there, but that was pretty funny.
anyways, you see this boat. It comes up. The guy waves his stick, and it starts to slow down and come to a stop. Okay. As they're kind of looking at you, and the one who was at the helm or like the steering mechanism, he gets up, and you see him kind of pull his goggles up off his face, revealing his nice pretty blue eyes, and he pulls down his bandana, and he comes a little ways. He's not off the boat. He's kind of like hanging off the side. He goes, "What are you fellas doing?"
Walking.
"Walking where?"
Looks at Dusty.
To the nearby town that the civilians had evacuated from.
Oh, you don't want to go there.
Why not?
It's covered in jack-o'-lantern.
I see.
Yeah.
But we're sent by the guild to help with the
Oh, the
Jackaware problem.
guild. Which guild?
Dusty kind of like pauses.
There's
is
only
like,
one guild for adventurers.
I didn't
Were you
know you
born
were
under a rock?
ranchers.
Think
Yup.
he understands.
yeah,
Nuri.
adventurers.
You could have been merchants.
Dusty kind of
Why would
shrugs.
merchants send a group of people out to the Jackaware town to deal with Jackawares?
He doesn't know we're going to deal with them. I don't think he's very bright.
She says this like in the back to Nuri.
He throws his
yeah,
hands up and he's like,
Adventurers Guild.
he just throws his hands up in the air and he's just like, your funeral.
Have you been dealing with the Jackawares lately?
We come across him. He kind of actually like goes and he sits down on the edge of his boat. His legs are just like kind of dangling off the edge, and he's like kicking them a little bit. You see a parrot come and flies and lands on his shoulder.
Gosh, yes.
Fantastic.
It just goes. "Ah!" You actually hear Houdini, who's like right next to you, Sierra. He's like, "Ooh, ooh." He doesn't seem very fond of the parrot.
I'm just turn a little bit to Houdini and I'm like, agreed.
What? Oh, yeah, agreed. Houdini just ruffles his feathers.
Adding parrot to list of animals Dusty can transform into.
Yes. Well, once you get
Now
the
see a
ability of
parrot.
flight.
Good. Anyways, yeah, we're from the Adventurers Guild. Do you happen to know anything about the Jackawares that might be able to help us? Perhaps where they're coming from, or where this whole thing started?
There's a lot of them.
And in the town?
Yeah. We can't go back. Sorry. We can't go back to the town. It's just been overrun. They got all the aqueducts covered for miles.
Aqueducts?
Yeah. Bring water to
see.
the village from the river north of here. Northeast.
They have all them covered. So all the places that have aqueducts have been overrun by jackawares? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Just the aqueducts of this town, then.
Yeah.
I see. I know where the general town is, but not 100% sure exactly where these aqueducts are. Are they in town? Would you be able to lead us to them?
He just kind of like, he's still like kicking his legs a little bit. And he looks to the left. Then he looks to the right. Then he looks back at his buddies. And then he just like kind of points off in the direction you were going. He's like, that away.
See. Well, we should hit it then. Doesn't he kind of... Oh. And what about you four? What are you doing out in the sands? Just going around?
You have pirates.
He's got a parrot. What else could he be?
Does
Gonna make us walk
Dusty
the
know
plank.
about pirates?
I'm sorry.
Good
I
question.
just need to stop laughing for a second. just travelers. Nomadic.
Oh, I see.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course you are. Oh, yeah.
Not far from myself. I
Yeah.
was a bit of a nomad before I joined the Adventurers Guild.
Mm-hmm. Ah, one of us.
Yeah.
He rests his hand down on his scimitar on his hip.
He's a pirate.
And
Is he flying the Jolly Roger?
actually, yes.
Oh, yeah, no,
See
Douse is
painted on the
avoiding that.
side, Jolly Roger.
Fantastic.
And he says, well, you folks need a ride?
That would be fantastic, actually.
Absolutely
I
not.
don't know if you actually would want us to go with you because we're headed toward the Jackalwares. But you were like, no.
Yeah, we
Yes,
wouldn't get too
excellent
close,
point.
but we'll scrape a couple hours off your journey.
I mean, I don't
Right,
see why
perfectly
not.
fine. Keep walking.
She
Oh.
says this to everybody else, not to them.
And then he looks over at you and he goes, are you sure you can keep walking? I mean, no offense to the elderly, but you seem a little haggard.
That's because I'm a haggard and cranky old woman. You got a set of eyes on you. Even if you don't have an eye patch.
Wouldn't it
Why
just
would
be
I
a little
have an eye
blunt?
patch? Why would you assume that?
Because you look like a pirate.
Pirate?
You
I
got
ain't
the
no
hat,
pirate.
you got the parrot, you got the ship. Now you seem like a land pirate. A little distressful, honestly.
He's like, he kind of boxes his hands and he looks over at his parrot and the parrot just goes, what? And he goes, pirates. Pirate, I say. And he looks over at his buddies and they all look like offended. The one human guy has his hand over his heart and he's like,
Can I make an insight check?
sure, you can make it inside.
You might want to, if you don't want to be mistaken for pirates in the future, you might want to get rid of the, Jolly Roger's skull and crossbones. It just screams
Oh,
pirate.
There's not a skull and crossbones on it.
That's
The boat is just called Jolly Roger.
It's just called Jolly Roger, painted on the side.
okay.
He goes, no, the Jolly Roger. That my brother used to be named Roger, and well, we're actually a traveling group of minstrels.
I would like to hear a song. This pretty half-elf named Jane and I are both bards. What tunes do you know?
You got what?
19.
19. Okay, judging by their reactions to the way that you guys were judging them partially and assuming.
Very dramatically, like they were lying.
No, actually, they seem like genuinely like not like offended, but more of like really, like we're not. You can tell that they seem by their body language to be truthful. He goes, this is just a way of life. We don't steal from people, unless they're dead. Then we take it.
Yeah,
'Cause,
they're
I
just
mean-
nomads. Dusty
Yeah.
just shrugs.
Yeah. You actually see the Kenku, like he comes over and he pulls out like a pair of like little bongos and he's like he's like raising his hands like excitedly over them. He's like and the one human guy pulls out a tambourine.
That's funny.
And
Musical
the girl,
nomads.
yes, musical nomads. The girl comes over and hands a lute to the guy up front. And then she herself pulls out a pan flute. And the guy with red hair,
Merilla
he
like
just-
sets down her torch and she whips out her lute.
her lute. Okay, and the guy kind of snaps. He's like, all right, all together now, just follow with our lead. And he snaps and he goes, 1, 2, 3. And they start jamming out.
I mean, I guess we
with
could trust them.
with a dirty 20 for their
For
performance
performance?
check. Yeah.
So
Dang,
not too
it's
bad.
a bop.
It's a bop. Yeah, it's basically almost like a sea shanty, but not
Oh, heck yes.
A little bit grainier.
a little bit grainier. Yeah.
Wow.
little
This was a
sandier.
ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was
Was it
Affiliate.
Then zoom down.
You smelled it.
Oh, my Billy boys go. Soon may the weatherman. Yeah. So they're basically doing something like that with like bongos, pan flutes, tambourines, and a lute. And you guys are joining in. And after just playing a short
Especially if it's a
section,
sea shanty.
yeah, Marilla's all for it.
That's the nature of it.
So
Douse is like okay with this because it sounds familiar with his like hometown music.
Really?
He's from the ocean.
But underneath it. Anyway, doesn't matter.
So if anyone wants to, they can roll perception.
Yes, I want to. Perception!
Yours is more like
I'll
Under
roll
the Sea
perception
from
too.
Little Mermaid.
Part of Oh my
I
gosh,
got a
that's much
10
better.
for
Okay.
perception.
no, Douse
Merilla.
grew up looking at the top of the sea, just going, ah.
Above the
this
sea,
stuff,
but
isn't it neat?
Under the sea.
Douse, you are
Okay, so for
Ariel.
perception,
Kiss the girl.
so Merilla got a 12, Nuri got a 10 on perception. So you might notice a little bit that Amaris is not joining.
Oh.
Pooh. Well, Marilla's gonna take note, but she's just having going away at this sea shanty.
Okay. After a few minutes, or after about a minute, they end the tune with a loud bring. And then he turns to you all and he goes, hop on.
Dusty just kind of starts. Dusty just kind of starts walking towards them, and since he has the shawl behind him,
Well, Marilla dropped her corner, so it's just dragging. She's gonna like hobble over and pick it up and follow.
Hey, are you all coming up?
Douse is hesitant and hanging behind, but he will join.
Okay.
Because he
I
doesn't
now
want to
have
be left alone in the
Marilla's
sun.
full and almost complete trust. Sea shanties do it.
Now we know.
There's a certain code of those who ride the waves of the sea, and apparently that also applies in her mind now to sand.
The waves of the sand.
Exactly.
Oh gosh. Okay. So basically you all managed to get up on here. And he turns to you and he goes, the name's Hook.
Hook.
Yeah. That's what my brother Roger would always call me. 'Cause he always said I had a good right hook.
Oh, what is fascinating?
He points at the where's my pencil? Okay, let me write this. I have to write these down.
Well, you know, I once knew a captain. I never sailed with him, but I knew of a captain. I saw him in the distance in some taverns, who actually had a hook for a hand. He's a very jolly fellow, very amiable to speak with. I never did so, but that's how it seemed as I watched him.
That's gnarly. Wait,
is
that was
very
not a
That's gnarly.
that's gnarly.
Gnarly, dude.
Gnarly tarly. No, that's not him. He goes, whoa. That'd be pretty hooky.
We never missed anything. Never played hooky.
Guys, I can't.
Good stand-up student. Right, young man.
Yes. In fact, I heard his crew call him the finest captain there ever was.
Yeah.
He was in high demand, and his crew was some of the best.
I don't doubt it. He turns over and he points at the Kenku. And he goes, "This be my first mate. His name's Smee." Points at the human. He goes, "His name is Tree. And
Tree.
the girl, Hyde."
Tree Hyde. Tree and Hyde, sorry.
Twin siblings.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well,
they both seem very quiet. Like not in stature, but more of they just aren't talking at all. They aren't saying anything. But they seem to be very confident in the ways of their ship. As they just kind of like nod at you. Oh my goodness.
tell me, Captain Hook, how do you sail the waves of the sand? Like, I don't see very much rigging on this boat. But you still have a rudder? He has a
Mhm.
sail, right? You sail.
The sail.
The ship is a lot flatter than ones I'm used to.
Mm-hmm. He just nods as everyone is like hooking back in. You see that the crew is like starting. Man, I need to make this boat bigger.
No, that's how cramped we all are.
Yes, you're all crammed on this little thing. Okay. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. In response to your question, he goes, "Oh yeah, secrets in the sail." As he goes back over to the rudder, to control it. He points over at Dusty and he says, "Big fella,
Yes.
could you lower your head? I can't see."
He like bends down a little bit.
Because yeah, I have to be able to drive this thing or steer this thing.
Of course.
You see the human guy. Well, I guess I can start calling him his Tree. Tree goes over and he waves the stick again, and the sail starts blowing again. And starts gliding over the dirt and the rocks and everything and going.
Nuri,
Yes.
do you think that's a wand Tree is holding?
I'm starting to wonder if it is. I thought it was to control the land mantas, but now I don't think they have one.
I don't think so either. Isn't that fascinating? Are there other kinds of wands, Nuri, that like control air specifically?
You know,
Well,
I've
you
been
could
wondering that
ask
for a
them.
while myself. As he's like, I can hear your whispers.
She's a little startled and is like, "What the?"
It's not very, quiet. Also, we're all crammed on this really tiny ship. He goes, "No, the secret is in the sail."
In the sail, you did say that.
Yeah.
So does the rudder turn the sail, and that's how you move in a certain direction? Wouldn't that?
No, the rudders. The rudder, yeah, she steers the ship.
Oh, so it's a jib. So it's not like a square sail. It's a triangle sail. Okay.
No,
There we
well,
go.
yeah. So it is.
Okay.
It is a square sail. It is it is a square sail.
Okay.
And the rudder that he's got is basically just like in the dirt. It's like planted in the dirt, basically being able to like steer it. And the guy, not the guy, Hook. I have to stop calling him the guys. Hook, uh, points over at Tree, and he says, he's got the key to controlling this whole thing. It's, wind elemental there in the sail.
Her eyes get wide.
You have a wind elemental.
Yeah,
It's enslaved?
no,
How'd you harness it? It's your friend.
yeah.
Do tell the story.
And she kind of like gets Nuri's attention, like, take notes. Like, she
Well-
doesn't actually have to, but like, Merilla's excited.
You can tell she's kind of already been sneakily writing some stuff in her book, and now she just kind of like pulls it out and makes it more noticeable.
There's already like 5
That's so
pages
top
written.
tier. What is Amaris doing? Like, what does she think of this wind elementalness?
She's just enjoying the ride.
The breeze that is coming too, as well, is nice.
Flowing through her hair.
Right enough into the subject.
Yes, I got that reference. Oh goodness. Yeah. So are you guys actually wanting to hear the tale?
Yes, how
Yes.
they harnessed a wind elemental.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's their
Okay.
friend.
Dusty does seem to be pretty interested as well.
This
Okay.
is gonna turn into
He
old
sits down.
sailor's
He's no
tale.
longer just like crouching. He
Those
Those
actually
are the
like sits
best
down.
kind of tales.
Alrighty. Hook begins as he's, still controlling it. His eyes are out on the horizon, still controlling it. You guys know that, like, you had traveled for maybe about like 2-3 hours. And now this is like increasing your, or not increasing, decreasing the amount of time it's going to take for you guys to get there, but it still will be a couple hours. Because it's bringing a day's travel down. So he continues looking on to the horizon and he goes, well, it all started way back when.
Of course.
Maybe like 10 years ago, maybe. He looks over at Smee and he goes, 10 years, right? And then you just hear the Kenku mimic his own voice and go, 10 years. And he goes, all right, good one. 10 years, final answer. Well, 10 years ago, me and my brother Roger, we were out exploring the air monastery down on the southeast from here. Big, beautiful place up in the clouds. It's kind of wild getting up there. That's a story for another day.
Wait, do you see the air monastery?
Yes. What does Douse hear? Or what does Douse do?
He's kind of zoning out and not paying attention to them.
Well, too bad for
He's just looking off in the distance, kind of like trying to find this village.
Even when he hears air monastery, okay.
You might not have
He's
heard
checking
it
it out.
though.
It might pique his interest slightly, but I'm assuming that it's just too windy for him to hear. But it might not be.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, he continues on talking about how he and his brother Roger were exploring this air monastery and meeting all of these air genasi that lived there. Because I'm not gonna do the voice because it's hurting my throat.
Oh, please don't. Oh, that's awful.
And they were traveling up in this air monastery all around when they encountered a section that had a bunch of air elementals that were just like kind of like living there. They were kind of again, just exploring around, and one thing led to another, and him and Roger accidentally got like themselves lost in the air elemental plane. He's like he describes how he has no idea how this happened, but somehow he ended up there, and it was like he was falling forever. And and
Dang.
like for 30 minutes he was falling. He goes, I was falling for 30 minutes. Um, um so he and Roger, what ended up happening was an air elemental came and rescued them, pulled them out of the air elemental plane. Um, and after that, he just kind of was like, "Hey, like you're such a good buddy, you want to come with?" And the air elemental was like, "Sure," and just like started following them around. Um, and then he and he points at the sail and he goes, "Yep, that's all Windy right there."
Oh my gosh, we got Wendy, guys. Oh, that's such a good play on words. I love it.
Yeah, Windy, Wendy.
Windy, Wendy, Windy, Wendy.
Better than being called gas bag or
No. And that is his
Racism,
story.
Douse.
That, that is his story of how he managed to get an air elemental to join his little caravan.
Oh. Super handy.
And she like points up at the sail with the wind elemental in it.
Mm-hmm.
You're quite the lucky man. Not everyone can say they're friends with an elemental.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Wendy's she's a good one.
I just love her name is Wendy.
Oh gosh. Well, is there anything you guys
part.
want? Oh, Douse? Dane?
I was gonna say, like, part of me is like, because I had already established that Douse probably doesn't hear any of this, but I have one to be like, Douse, like, how do you know it's a girl? Just like,
Sometimes you can just tell these
Racism.
things.
I know, right? Sexism.
He
Racist
just
and
he
sexist.
goes, "'Cause she became a tornado every time I said he."
I'll do it.
I will do it. That'll do, pig. That'll do. I'm sorry.
That's
But-
how
All
it
the
happens.
references.
I did establish that Douse didn't hear any of that, so I'm assuming he doesn't say anything.
Oh, so, well, no, since you now have had the conversation, he responded.
Okay.
Is there anything you guys wanted to do or say while you guys are traveling?
I think it would be interesting since this is basically traveling traveling nomad musicians. Because I know Nuri and Merilla noticed a little bit that Amaris didn't join in. So I was curious if anyone else noticed, even though Merilla said Amaris was a bard.
Oh, any of the
Any of
singer
the
people?
crew, and if yeah,
Um,
any of the crew, and if
you
they
don't
want to try in.
you don't know if any of them noticed, but they seem to be very like they're not asking you guys many questions at all about yourselves.
Good.
Mm.
Douse doesn't
They
really
don't
trust them.
seem to yeah, they don't seem to be the kind that are like ones to pry at all.
Wow.
Wow.
Is that just a desert thing or
Wow.
wow?
Okay, imagine them as like desert hippies, basically.
That
Like
look an
Just hopped
awful
in
lot
their
like
van.
pirates.
Wait,
that look an awful
wait.
lot like pirates.
no, wait. You said that, and my first thought was like the hippies in the boat in Seoul.
Oh yeah, the Disney movie or the
Yeah.
Pixar movie. Oh
Yeah.
my
Oh
gosh.
man,
Yeah, they're kind of like them.
fantastic.
Yes, Sierra?
Nuri has a question.
Oh, Nuri's gonna interact with them. He just kind of goes, "Speak freely."
She seems a little annoyed by him, but she tries to brush it away. Hook, how did you get into the air monastery? As I understand, it's rather hard to get into there, and it's like a big honor to be able to study there. So how?
It was real tricky. It took a while. I won't go
Details?
into too many details.
Why
That's kind
not?
of my own story, but I'm not asking you your private life. I'll leave that
Well, you
to
could.
me and my brother. That's
You
okay. I don't really want to know.
So did you have to like fly up to the monastery, or was there like a staircase?
He's like, maybe.
Maybe. And it was just you and Roger. How did Roger die?
He goes, maybe.
So Roger's still alive then. Then why isn't he traveling with you?
He gets a little small smile and he goes, maybe.
Maybe. Wow, that's very contradicting, Hook, because you in fact did say that Roger died. I have it written down.
And he just like winks at you and he goes, maybe.
Yeah, you might have written that down.
And then the parrot just goes, maybe.
Nuri, I think he's just
I was half more
sidestepping
than
all
prepared to
your
rat him out.
questions. Your statements.
Why are you in the desert? You're an elf.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Marilla's gonna hobble over to Dusty.
Do you think we're still
She
going in the
clearly-
right direction, Douse? I mean, not Dusty.
Good question. And Dusty just kind of like he looks at the trajectory they were going. He like looks over the side of the boat. Are we still going the same direction?
I mean, you don't really recognize the dunes anymore because you've never traveled by a sandhopper. So you like, and you kind of weren't paying attention to anything.
Yeah, I
So
was
you,
listening to the story sitting down.
yeah, so you don't
Hmm.
really know anymore.
Mm. I've never really traveled in a boat like this before. It's a little bit disorienting. I'm not 100% sure. I would assume so, though. These seem to be good fellows.
Ultimately, deeper down, yes, I think so. But it never hurts, to double check.
You see
Dusty
Hyde.
shrugs.
Oh, sorry. You
No,
see
yeah, he
Hyde
just
pull out her
shrugged.
pan flute. Yeah, Hyde pulls out her pan flute. Hyde pulls out her pan flute and starts doing like a little melody. And Tree kind of like comes in with his little tambourine every now and then, like a, and it's just like kind of a nice little travel melody as they're going along.
I'm gonna go over to Tree
Mhm.
and just be like, "Can I see the stick that you wave? Like, is it just a normal stick?"
He just like looks at you and he just shakes his head.
It's not a normal stick. Oh. Are you friends with Wendy too then?
He shakes his head, yes.
Oh, that's so sweet. Are you like her best friend? Because you wave the stick and she listens?
He shakes his head, no, and then points at Hook.
Do you wave this? Is the stick actually important to get Wendy to listen?
He shakes his head, yes.
Fascinating. Do you have a voice?
He shakes his head yes.
Oh, cool. Are you able to speak the language of Windy?
He shakes his head no.
No. Can I just look at this stick? See, I'm trying to do some research.
He shakes his head no immediately.
I won't touch it. You can hold it. I won't touch it.
He shakes his head no. And then points up at the sail.
Oh, because if you bring it out, she'll stop.
He kind of like brings his hand out and he like flips it back and forth, kind of like a so-so.
Oh, could you show it to me when we do stop? Just
He kind of shrugs his shoulders and like has his hands up, kind of like a maybe.
Thank you, Tree.
Maybe.
What a sweet bird.
Bird. Ooh, Nuri's
Sweet birdie!
What did it say?
Sweet birdie! Ah!
Sweet birdie. Rock.
Fantastic.
We're just gonna just sit on the edge of the boat and write some things in her notebook.
Merilla's gonna come over and she's gonna be like, kind of like tap your knee a little bit.
Are you sure you want to sit there?
Yeah, it's the wind is whipping really hard on the sides of the boat. May not be
If we
the
go over
safest.
a wave, I mean a rock, I guess in this case, you might fall right over.
I'll readjust so I'm just like in a safe spot, but on the edge in a safe spot away from everyone else, like the main crew. Just the edge area. Without being on the edge.
You guys are also getting into more like sand now. It's not like quite Sahara-like in its sand, but it's definitely like deeper. And there are like sandy hills, just not like as crazy intense as the Sahara.
With that landmark change, would I be able to would Dusty be able to tell if we're like going the correct way?
You trying to think. Roll a survival check for me.
Fantastic. I will do so with pleasure.
Me?
13.
I would say you're like 90% confident you're going in the right direction. Yeah.
Has anything shown up on the horizons or anything?
Not much other than like rocky, like almost like giant rock pillars and like dunes and stuff in the distance. You guys are gonna have to be traveling for at least like maybe 4 to 5 more hours.
Fair enough.
So, yeah. So is there anything you guys want to do in this time period before you guys make it to your destination?
Are Tree and Hyde still playing their instruments?
Yeah.
High or low?
Me?
Yeah.
Hee. Low.
All right, I'm going to have to do it on here because I do not have my physical dice on me.
Ooh,
okay.
Okay.
You can start
You rolled a
start to
5.
hear. Yeah, and that's low. You can start to hear Amaris hum along.
Oh, fun.
Yay,
Hi-
music.
Hyde kind of
Hey.
notices and she like Hyde notices and she continues like playing her pan flute and kind of like looking at you and like nodding as she's like kind of like playing it. Um, and then you see as you start humming along, Smee pulls out his bongos and he starts adding in some music. And then Hook is like, "Oh, I'm gonna get in on that action." And he pulls out his lute and he starts like coming in and he goes lead vocals as he's going rah, like singing this sea shanty all the way.
Over time, Amaris's hums turn into words and she starts harmonizing to the song.
Ooh, okay. Make a performance check for me with advantage.
Yes.
Because you got a whole band playing with you.
This is my moment. Let's go.
Ooh.
Oh, thank goodness, with advantage.
Yeah, that would have been a nat 1 without advantage.
It is.
But you did get a 14. And so it sounds pretty decent. You know, it's pretty good music. You know that you can definitely like do better. But you're just kind of like the wind is whipping in your face. But like it's still
And
pretty
she's
good.
still in a low spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe hit by a bug or two.
At one point you're like la 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 la. And then you see Hook just kind of stops and he goes, "It's okay. It's extra protein." Goes straight back into singing. Alrighty. So as you guys continue traveling, it gets yes, Merilla?
I'm so sorry. I know we've been on the ship for a long time. Merilla said a lot. But can I roll Arcana on the sail and like the sail, like not just the fabric of the sail, but also like the frame of the sail attachment?
You could probably roll survival for that.
Okay. What she's trying to
But
see
are
is
you
if there's
trying to
any like well, I guess she wouldn't know with an Arcana roll, but like sense any magic that's not the wind elemental that might be binding it there.
Oh, so then that would be an Arcana check.
Is that okay? Is it kind of?
Yeah. You can do Arcana.
It's a nat 20.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You notice I mean you kind of do like your investigation, kind of looking at it. You're like, none of it
Stretching out to the senses through the web
Stretching-
of magic. That's it. Everything.
exactly. Um, there's nothing particularly magical about like the bindings of the sail other than the wind elemental. It seems like this has been constructed by hand, the entirety of it. Um, the only magical thing would be the wind elemental. And with that nat 20, I would say you also do see that the what Tree was holding is a wand, and that is magical in nature.
Okay. Perfect. Danke. It's exactly all I wanted to know. And a little bit more. So, doctor.
There you go. All right. Anything else? Nope. Okay. All right. You guys keep sailing along, and it starts to get dark. And it is the evening. It's cooled down quite a bit. Yes.
Sorry. I just want to be clear on this. For Nuri to continue to dislike them or like them, it's very important on this. At the beginning of the day, you said we had a day's travel left. It is now the end of the day. But you'd said it was sped up with the boat, so the boat took us around in wrong directions and
No.
stuff.
When I said a day's travel, I was meaning like 24 hours.
Okay.
So you would have arrived if you had walked throughout the entire night the next morning. Sorry, I guess I should have been more clear on that.
That's okay. It's okay. She'll be fine
We're
with him for a while.
we're just suspicious of the pirates. That's all.
Yes. The pirates that are actually not pirates.
I don't
The
care
non-pirates.
what they say.
The no
They have
Nuri
all
has
of the pirates
decided not
names,
to
but
like
they're not
them.
pirates.
Does Nuri mention the word pirates while she is on the boat? Does anybody?
She mentioned it before getting on the boat.
Yes, and they
She
did
has
not like the
mentioned it
term.
since.
I will say on the boat, they do have like this time where what's his face? Hook will be talking about their ideals, how they travel around, playing their music, living life to the best that they want to. They say they prefer nomadic musicians is their preferred term.
You will notice Nuri actually does not write anything down when they start talking about that. She has closed her book and is just staring to the side.
Yikes.
Ultimate insult, but they don't even know.
Yeah, they don't even know.
Oh, you want me to remember something? Oh, that's very cute.
Exactly.
The funniest
I guess
thing is,
like
they might actually take this as even more interest because she's putting down stuff to look at, to be more engaged.
Yeah, true.
She's not looking at them. She's looking off.
Well, yes, they basically share their ideals about how they just live their own way.
I guess then in response, if you want to
Mhm.
fast track this, Merilla would ask them about different places that they have been and then see where the overlap has occurred of where she has also been in her many different travels and stuff like that. How much
Oh,
they may have been on
fun.
the sea itself, the actual sea.
You would actually discover that that Hook has only been on the ocean like he could probably count on like his fingers how many times he's been to the ocean. Because he spent most of his time on like the mainland. Um, the only times were like to get over to the air monastery. Um, he talks about meeting Tree and Hide in the oh shoot, what was it called? The Iron. Come over here.
The Iron Mountain.
Oh, sorry, in the Thautia Empire. Sorry.
Sautia Empire. Okay, so he's been on
Yes.
the other side of the continent that she's only really heard about.
Yeah.
So she's definitely gonna ask. Sorry, partially because I also really want to know what is it like over there in the Sautia Empire. And you don't have to do his voice.
No,
so
no,
I
you're
remember
good.
she asked.
He would talk about how he he would mention how he hasn't been there in the past like probably in the past like actually no past like 8 years he hasn't been there. But before that it was very beautiful place, very rich in iron and just like imagine the Earth Kingdom from Avatar: The Last Airbender but minus the conspiracy. um Very beautiful place. Lots of hills and valleys and big grand cities he would describe. And then he just is like, no, but it's not for me. I like the sand. I like the dirt.
I see.
And then when you're traveling in the desert, there's not going to be any neighbors that are complaining about the noise, you know? Like,
I could hardly call the music you made noise. It was beautiful. It's been some time since I was able to play a good, rousing shanty with some other people that knew the same. I was kind of
you
surprised. It's not quite the true sea here.
you flatter me. Yeah, the she shanties, we learned those actually from Tree here. She's got quite the voice.
Turns over to look at Tree.
Tree nods.
Did you spend much time on the sea?
He
I
nods.
promise there's a point to this.
Yeah, there is a point. I know why Marilla's asking. Tree nods.
A lot of time on the sea? Where all did you go on the sea?
He nods.
Am I ever going to get a non-nod answer from you?
He just kind of like shrugs his shoulders. And you see Hyde just kind of like taps his shoulder and like rests her hand there, and he just kind of looks at her and like gives a little bit of like a pained smile, and then looks back at you and just kind of like nods his head towards you.
Hyde, since you are twins, have you also been on the sea a lot?
She nods.
You're kidding me. Hmm.
And then she like nods over to Hook. And Hook goes, "Oh, dang, that's a pretty cool place." And then and then she just kind of like shrugs her shoulders, and Hook's like, "Okay, okay, Hyde, that's a new thing. Didn't know you went there."
Marilla's gonna cast message to Hyde.
Well, where did you go? You just whisper, only I'll hear you.
Hyde just kind of like nods.
Gosh dang it! Cast message again.
Right, if you want to be that way, I won't cry.
And Hook just kind of laughs a bit, and he goes, we're not using magic. I can read her a lot better than I can read Tree. No offense, Tree." And Tree just shrugs. Um,
Oh, she was just like with message. It's just like telepathy. It wasn't that loud.
oh yeah, well no, but like with the facial expressions and from like
yeah,
gestures,
yeah. That makes sense.
he
Sorry.
got it from her. And Hyde just kind of like rolls her shoulders a bit and kind of like nods again to Hook and kind of like makes a couple like small movements. She's not quite like doing ASL or anything. She's just kind of like body language. And he goes, "Yeah, she says that she and Tree were used to be sailors on the West Coast. West Coast, yeah."
The side with all the islands and Ibesta and oh shoot, what is it called? What is it called? Kivaria Kingdoms?
She shrugs a
Do you ever
bit
visit those
more.
places?
She shrugs a bit more. Makes a couple nods, and Hook goes, "Huh, cool. Yeah, yeah." She says she was traveling down by that area. She used to be a sailor out there, and what happened? And she shrugs a bit more, and just assume she is conveying all of these things to him. And he goes, "Really? You said a great worm did that?"
Marilla's eyebrows like go up.
And then
The great worm did what?
And
And then he
she's
goes,
like split between talking to the twins and the captain, which I imagine
Yeah.
are like
and he goes, "Oh, not a great worm with a Y, a great worm with an O? A sea worm." And she nods. And he's like, "Okay. And it ate half your crew?" She nods. And makes like a little like wiggling motion with her head, and he goes, "Whew. I don't I'm not gonna re-say that."
Please do. It's nothing I haven't heard before.
she says it very seriously.
Uh, and then she makes a couple other head motions, and he just kind of goes, "In a gist, that a lot of people died, and half the ship was bit in half. They said they
Hold on. Half the ship was bit in half, so they lost a quarter of the ship.
Yes.
Like proof. Math, guys.
Yes, they lost a quarter of the ship because math is the thing that happens, and yes. Anyways, so
So hold up now. It was a great worm.
yes,
Worm, not worm. Worm.
worm.
I understand these things can be awfully traumatic.
Like a
But-
sea cucumber. Big.
Not scaly at all. It was slimy. Sea cucumbers.
He looks at her, and then Tree actually like shrugs a bit, and he goes. He kind of like Hook kind of squints his eyes. He goes, Barky, and then Hyde kind of like shakes her hands a little bit, and he goes, "Oh, slimy. Yeah, no, it was slimy."
Really kind of chews on that mentally a little bit and notes that Nuri has picked up her book again.
She kind of makes a couple more hand movements, and then Hook kind of goes, "Oh, oh, that makes sense."
Where were you sailing? Guessing at what he was saying made sense.
And he was like, he's like, he's like, southwest is basically what I'm getting. I can't get specific places from that.
Rilla nods. She doesn't need anything else.
Yeah.
Why were you sailing so far southwest? If it's all right to know, I'm just an old woman. I'll keep the secret and die soon within a year. No one else will know.
They
I'd
they
prefer
make
if you didn't.
and Dusty chimes in. They make a couple movements, and the guy and Hook just goes, she's not given like all the details, but it sounds like they were a part of some navy, some sea fleet. Now she's talking about ghosts. Ghosts. Hyde, are you sure you're right about the ghost? On a manta ray? In the ocean? At night? This does not sound legitimate. That's a big word for him. Oh gosh. This does not sound real.
That's one of them new fairy tales I've been hearing about.
Them fairy tales. Them
How
fallacies. Wait, that
how long ago was this voyage?
oh, we picked him up, say 5 years ago.
Okay, real quick, I just wanted to point this out because it's hilarious. In the chat, Roxy Bird said, "Grandma from Moana."
Oh my gosh, yes, riding the manta rays. Let's go.
Yes, I love that. Grandma from Moana.
Huzzah for Roxy Bird. That is fantastic.
That was beautiful. Shout out to that. Yes, he now thinking of the grandma from Moana. Know who you are. He goes, wait, what was your question?
How long ago was the voyage, is what Merilla asked.
Oh, we picked him up about 5 years ago, and she makes some movements, and he goes, so your voyage was like 10 years ago? Okay, cool.
Are you sure it was 10 years ago? They look so young.
She asked this to the captain.
Yeah, and he goes, yeah, they're 25.
Oh. The sand is so good for both of your skin, apparently.
She
Yeah.
actually says that to them.
And you
I'm
see
still for 20-year-olds.
Tree
So
kind
come
of
to the
gets a
Navy.
little like stop it. Like
To be
Thank
clear,
you.
Hook said 25, right?
Yeah. That's how old they were.
When the voyage happened, or they are right now?
Yeah, the twins are 25 right now.
Okay.
Wait, then who's 40?
Hmm?
Who's 40? I thought you said somebody was 40 years old.
No.
Okay, so the twins are 25-ish, whatever years old, and the voyage was 10 years ago.
They were 15.
Oh, okay, so then... Oh.
Nuri makes a side eye. Merilla.
Marilla's side eye is Nuri. I love this is a thing.
And the GM side eyes nobody because she is confused with all the side eyeing.
No one can see who Dusty's side-eyeing.
That's true. He has the goggles and the wrappings and the anyway.
And then Tree and Hyde are side eyeing each other. They're like,
And
And
Douse
then-
side eyes the horizon.
He's
That's
like,
so funny.
That
right.
horizon.
So then, you guys were quite young when you had that horrible experience on the sea.
She says that to the both of them.
They just nod.
Is that why you don't talk?
They shake their head no.
All right, well, I won't ask you why.
And she glances at Nuri, saying like, "I'm not gonna ask for your notes."
No, the captain, he just kind of was like, well, they already said. I mean, I guess I didn't really make it clear, but the whole ghost thing, that's what they were talking about. That's why they don't talk.
You explain a little more, please. The heat is frying my brain, and I need to know a little more
Yeah,
explicitly.
we're gonna stop for a water break real quick, and they just guzzle down. They open up one of the barrels that's just full of water, and they start drinking some. Sit back down. He goes on to explain that as they are explaining to him, and he's getting in fragmented pieces, that basically like a sighting of like these ghosts on the sea basically terrified the brother so much that he went into silence, basically. And the sister is just joining in to make sure he doesn't feel alone.
My heart, you are truly. And she like actually approaches Tree a little bit, and she like claps her hands like a little bit old lady like sort of a thing.
She's kind of
You-
like
she's not getting in her space, but Merilla is closer.
no, Tree is the boy, Hyde is the girl.
Lies. Sorry, yes, Hyde. I got
Okay.
them confused.
No, you're good.
Hyde, the girl.
You truly are an amazing sister.
And then she kind of like gives Tree, the boy, a little bit of a stern look, and she's like,
I used to have older brothers. I think they were some of the best. Make sure you're worthy of her
as a sister, as a brother.
And he nods, and Hyde puts her hand on his shoulder again. And he
That's
kind
so
of puts his
cute.
hand over her.
I love
over
that.
hers.
If I might ask, and she kind of like takes another step back just to kind of like
Mhm.
symbolically showing him space. She does not have to have this question answered.
Mhm.
Why were you and so young with the Navy?
Shrugs and stuff. And Hook goes, oh, their parents were in the Navy. Brought them along.
Oh, I see. makes a lot of sense. What did they do in the Navy? Were both of them in the Navy? And that's why they took all the children? One of them couldn't stay home?
They just nod.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad you didn't become terrified of the sea entirely, just of the goats. Because you are here on this magnificent ship with your captain, Hook.
Captain Hook kind of like, thank you.
There's nothing quite like sailing.
And as she looks out over the sand dunes that are passing past us, grandma smiles at the surrounding area.
That's so fun. That's so cute. I love it when Merilla grandma smiles.
We got one.
We got a grandma smile this session. Okay. If there's nothing else that you would like information on from them.
Not information, she would just kind of peter out conversation with minor small talk about sea and sailing and like the positive things.
Okay. And you can definitely do that, and they all are listening happily. And pretty much it starts to get to the evening. The weather has cooled down, or not the weather, the temperature has cooled down quite a bit at this point. And it is about in like 70s. The sun is like setting basically. So it's still about like 70s, but it's starting to get a little colder. Um, and and Douse, you can see the village on the horizon. And they come close enough to where it's about a 30-minute walk for you guys. And they drop you off. And Hook's like, this is about as far as we're gonna go in. We wish you the best of luck. Send me a message if you need a ride. But not for... I mean, if you need me in a pinch.
Only emergencies. We
Only
understand, Captain.
emergencies. And he comes and he salutes. And you actually see that the whole crew salutes. Tree and Hyde, their salutes actually like look official. Whereas everyone else's is kind of like haphazard, like, yeah. And they salute back. And then Smee, the Kenku, pulls out his bongos and starts tapping out a tune, and Hyde starts playing her pan flute as they start driving away.
Douse doesn't trust any of them. They may have been good, but he has reasons to not trust people.
That's okay. You don't have to trust people to like receive aid.
True. But that was mostly why he was quiet the entire time. He's just like, I just met you guys. Like,
They were cool.
oh yeah, from a player's perspective, they were fun people.
Okay, you guys are now a distance away from the place, from the town, 30 minutes away. You can hear some howls in the distance, like "Ow!" in the distance. And the town is about 30 minutes walk.
Is
It
that the
will
sound
be
the Jackawares
nightfall.
make?
Can you say that one more time, Douse?
Is that the sound that Jackawares make? The howling?
Looks
Yes.
at Dusty.
Dusty nods.
I did not expect him to make that noise.
I'm gonna start untying the rope to all the torches and kind of like rolling it up, putting the torches back in the bag.
Really
Dismantling our
retrieves her torch
creation.
that she contributed.
Yeah, dismantling the creation so we can move without being hampered.
We'll all just take it down.
Okay. You dismantle it, put it away. What are you guys gonna do?
I'm
I think
gonna.
we should,
Oh, sorry.
I think we need to prepare for this. What do we need to know about the Jackawares?
Well, I can send in Houdini to fly and do a flyby, see what the situation is.
That would be quite
Right.
useful.
I like to do Houdini.
Houdini just goes, yeah, I can take it. I'll just go. Whoo. He jumps into the air. Well, what a good word. Jumps into the air and he starts flying. I'm gonna put you guys on the map. It is a full moon. Well, actually not quite a full moon. It is waxing though, so it's getting more to a full moon.
Wait, so they're jackals. Does that mean they're only like this during the full moon?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
I'm gonna put you guys off on the corner. If I can find you guys.
This is just a representation. We are 30 minutes off.
Yeah, you guys are 30 minutes off, but I'm giving you this because you get technically an aerial view from Houdini, who then comes back and describes it to you, but I'm not going to do his voice. But yes. This is now you guys can see kind of like the aerial view that you have here of this village. A couple of the houses have kind of been half burned a little bit and broken down, but the rest of them seem to be intact. You do see these massive aqueducts that are coming off from one direction that lead off more like northeast, up towards the river. And from on the rest of this, it leads down to a massive like pool trough kind of a thing, where people are able to receive their water. And it does trickle down into the surrounding area, so it's not just this big overflow of water. And so that's why there's like grass patches here, a little bit more like bushes and stuff. It's a little bit more like green, and you can see outside some of the front of the homes, there's like little miniature gardens, um, where there were like crops and stuff growing.
So, Dusty, I remember you saying you didn't necessarily want to kill them if possible. So, are we going to try and negotiate with the Jackalwares? Can they even understand a language?
I'm not entirely sure. I know that attempts in the past to talk with them haven't resulted too well. I don't know if it's a language barrier or what, but they're not the nicest of creatures. But I would presume it's because they're hungry, like I had mentioned. If we can avoid killing them, that would be ideal.
So what do you suggest we do in return? Capture them or
Take them where? Not sure. This is why it would be really nice to be able to find the root, where all this is coming from. I mean, I'd be willing to try and negotiate with them. I have a way with animals, and at the very least, they're part animal. I might be able to talk with them. But
well, this isn't their like main group, is it? This is like a branched off part.
yeah, it doesn't sound like this is a main group.
I mean, we could, for the time being, if we need to go find the main group or to find the cause, we could try and get the manta rays and the wagons, or the mantas and the wagons, and escape with that to go towards their center, if you know where that is.
Dusty shakes his head. Not sure.
The fear with just leaving them alone, though, is that they might go after the refugees and start invading outside of the desert.
True. I was just thinking if there was a cause that we were looking for, maybe that's where the main body is, would be where the cause is.
Yes. I'd like to at least try to talk with one of them.
So should we
And
first
if
try
that doesn't
capturing
work
one?
out,
Well, let's hope it works out. But I suppose we should have a backup plan.
Well, if we do have to attack, we can at least keep one alive and capture it and talk to it.
Let's move to use whatever force is necessary to move them out of the town. Perhaps we can follow them if we scare them back to their home.
About how big are the jackalwares?
About the size of a human? Question, DM? I would assume about the size of a human.
Wait, what?
For the size of the jackalwares.
Sorry, I was messaging Sarah. The size of the jackalwares are about human size. You do know that jackalwares can actually switch from a human form to a hybrid form.
Good detail.
Because they are
That's
shape
important to know.
changers. So
Communication is possible then,
Communication is possible.
if we can knock one unconscious.
Yeah, I suppose so. So I guess the plan is we find one of them, maybe try to talk with them, fight if we need to, and then
Yes.
follow them.
I think a backup plan would be if we could knock them unconscious and then maybe store them in one of the houses, lock them in one of the houses to kind of like a makeshift prison while we communicate with one of them, or
Yeah, sounds like a plan to me.
Have you ever tried to speak with a trapped animal before?
well, they're shape changers. I assume they have human intelligence.
Well, yes, but I do see what you're saying, Merilla. Doesn't turn out too well. They do have bestial components to them. Not all human. We might have to be careful, though.
Does anyone have any other ideas or suggestions?
Knock on their front door and ask. Well, I guess it's not their front door. They stole it, but just waltz on in, say hello.
There's a lot of them.
I think it would be wise, if need be, we need to be prepared to, maybe finish them.
Yes, I do agree with Morris. But why are the jackalwares here? They're here for resources, right?
Yeah. Food, water.
Then why would they burn down the houses? If they were
Because
just here for
they're
resources.
terrible. They don't know how to use doors, so they have to get inside somehow. I have no idea. But Food can only last a person so long. I know this. Why don't we go up the aqueducts away and we stop them? We stop the water. I mean, they will go out and possibly terrorize some other poor people, but they'll be out of here.
Well, there's that theory, but it's also they might go looking for what is blocking the water. So that could be a good way to lure them up there.
And set a trap.
Exactly. Yes. What are you guys all thinking? Because they won't send everybody. It'll just be a little scout trip, right? Maybe 2 or 3. We can handle 2 or 3. She looks at everybody to reassure her, like, yes.
Yes, but
you can.
once that happens, we're on a time limit. Because when they do not return, people will get suspicious. And then we might be dealing with 5 or 6.
But it won't be 7 or 8.
We don't know how many they will send.
We don't know if they will send.
Touche.
Amaris, what do you think?
If Amaris is still here.
She
never
said
mind.
that she will be right back.
My bad. Retract that statement. Doesn't say that.
I don't
But we-
have a lot of trapping spells.
This is a good question.
I can make the ground slippery. I can fall. Or I can make someone blind and deaf, but past that,
I can make people feel worthless about themselves.
feels worse than what I do.
Emotional damage.
Yes, it's a part of the trade of becoming old. Your words become sharp and powerful. If you know how to do it right.
I see.
I would die for Merilla.
Regardless, I think we're onto something. I think we block the water, and then one of them comes, we can take them hostage. Or maybe we try to talk with them. If they become hostile, we take them hostage. And then at least when we try to deal with the rest of the group, it's okay. Or it's a little bit easier.
Does anyone have teleportation magic?
No.
I need to
No.
study that. Darn.
Hold up, you
Okay.
study for magic?
What?
There's not much magical about me, if you just saying. But
Oh, well, yes. So if we go up, we could use the water as a parley tool. What is the word I'm actually wanting to say?
negotiation?
Yes? Negotiation item? They leave and we put the water back, but that would be kind of stupid because if the water is there, then they're going to want to stay.
I think we're with Dusty where we want to know why they are doing this. So in negotiation, it would not be so much for them to leave to turn on the water, but more for we want them to tell us why they're there.
It might be easier if there's only 2 or 3 of them.
Yes.
We have a lot more holding power if there's only a few.
Yes, exactly. So, I vote we stop the water and we kind of play it by ear from there with our goals of, well, Dusty's goal of not killing anyone and finding out why they're there. I mean, I do agree we shouldn't just go around killing people. And she remembers episode 1. Session 1, sorry. But
When all the goblins were just brutally murdered.
But more specifically, the woman she killed.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Murder.
An accident!
You electrocuted her on accident.
Yes, 100% on accident. Anyway.
Criminal.
Okay, so your plan.
Go
The
up,
plan.
stop the water, wait for things to come. Maybe only a couple of us stay by the water place
No,
The
that
other
we
two of us
stopped.
could hide. So we're all there. but we're
Ambush
just
them.
hidden.
Surprise.
Yes.
Because if they see us in the distance, they'll just turn around in the distance.
I think it would be best not to reveal our full hand as well. If maybe one or two of us are in. Is there a way to even hide up there at the blockage?
Bury ourselves in the sand. We can dig into it. Make ourselves look like mounds with our bedrolls.
Dusty could show us how.
This is just making me envision the whole scene from Mulan when all of the Huns were like trapped in the snow and it was like they came popping out like daisies.
So good.
If someone could shut off the water, I could probably be the bait, make it look like it's just one person, and have them chase after me.
Should we have that be Dusty though, so he can talk to them? The beast?
Now,
Yeah.
see, here's the thing. I lead whoever follows me to you guys. You guys capture him, and then Dusty can talk to him.
But we don't want them to get away and then warn everybody else.
I can handle the water, turning it off.
What does this aqueduct look like? Is it like one of the high arching like Roman ones, or is it just kind of like a short, more like England aqueducts that are smaller, not as grand in size?
So it's more like a smaller England one that's not as grand. It is like wood, built out of wood mostly.
Okay.
Predominantly. It is covered as you go further out because sand. Don't want that getting into the water.
So it's kind of like a tube.
Yeah, it's kind of like a tube. And it kind of like travels along the ground when it's like going upwards, like up the hills and stuff. And as it kind of gets further up, when there's like divots, it just like comes higher. Because like it's an aqueduct, so it's like trying to follow the gravity basically.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just looking in our group chat and I just see straw noises. And so
Well, it sounds like when he puts his wristband into the aqueduct,
water,
you start hearing.
just like, all right,
One
thank you.
long slurp and then just smacking of lips at the end.
Everyone smacks their lips. Okay. Alrighty. Drink some water now.
The best part of everybody smacking their lips is that it made no sound whatsoever on my end.
We were all muted.
Our mics don't pick it up.
I heard a little bit.
Or here, let's see here. Did you hear that?
Nope.
Did you
dang
hear
it.
this?
No.
Really? Okay.
So much
Alrighty.
disappointment.
Anyways, back to the plan.
Yeah. Wow, we're getting so sidetracked this session. It's funny.
Okay. Aqueduct. Amaris's bait pulls them to us. We trap them with ropes and cunning.
And the slippery stuff Nuri does. They can't run away then, can they?
It'll be a lot harder. That's for sure.
Absolutely. We have a plan.
Yes, I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, no, Amaris. When you're the bait, you should hold some food in your hand. Since it's a resource and they seem to like it.
That might
I would
actually
chase.
be a good idea. Amaris is
Imagining
going to.
Merilla just chasing down Amaris.
Amaris just has an armful of bread and Merilla is chasing her.
Need a picture for that.
I need a chibi drawing of that.
Yes, let's
Done.
do it.
So Amaris is going to quickly take like just enough of a look around to notice what kind of food is there, so she knows. Hold on. First, let me see if I have this spell.
Otherwise, it all goes downhill from there.
Oh, was it like minor illusion?
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, you could have like a
Oh.
whole table of stuff, and it
I
just
just wanted to
Doesn't
do a
it, like-
shout out real quick for Inspector, who did first time chat. Like, awesome! We're happy you're here joining us for the stream. Just you're cool. All right, continue. Sorry, what do you plan?
Okay, so I do not have minor illusion,
Merilla does.
so I won't.
But you
Could
might not
Merilla
want
make it?
We might not want Merilla that close. The range is 30 feet.
True. All right.
Does she have to
so-
stay within 30
never
feet
mind.
the whole time?
I think so.
So yeah. Forget that plan. It wasn't gonna work.
It's a really good idea, though.
Okay, so what are you doing right now? Because you guys have been planning for like 30 minutes.
Walk to the aqueduct, step 1.
Yes.
Step
I mean,
one.
I
We
guess
got it, yeah.
we can all be there. It doesn't matter. It was
Oh,
just
and
a
it's
thought.
totally perfect because it's nighttime. So when they wake up, there's not going to be
Theoretically,
water.
if we just go east from here, I'm assuming we'll like run into the line where the aqueduct eventually like comes down to meet the town.
Well,
Yeah, I'd
I mean,
say
we
it
have
takes you about maybe 40 minutes to an hour to get over to, if you guys are just directly going straight east to get to the aqueduct, further up, then yes. And
I'd
I'm
say
gonna,
maybe
oh,
a
sorry.
good 15-minute walk would be a good distance up
Well,
the
on,
aqueduct.
on top of the 30 minutes that would take to get to the town, like if you were going straight towards the town, it takes 30 minutes.
Yeah,
So I get
I'm saying
to get from there.
15 from the town to where we put up our trap.
Okay. Yeah, like 45 an hour. Yeah.
Because if it's short and then they're gone for a long time, it's a lot easier to be like, oh, that's sus. Why aren't they back yet? Versus if it's already kind of a substantial amount of time, then they're just going to wait longer. And that gives us more time.
And if we could find the hilly spots, then hopefully we can just hide in the shadows. You know, just like
if it's
below a
morning when
hill.
they come, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's getting evening, so it's getting nighttime.
Well, it's dark out.
Yeah.
It's already nighttime. Do we want to sleep or do we want to do this? We have been traveling all day, so we're pretty
Yes.
tired here.
But we've been on a boat for most of the day.
Which could be considered a short rest because we weren't doing anything for it but talking.
True. I'll give you guys a short rest.
Not that we needed it, but
It saves us exhaustion,
But-
maybe.
Also, imagine this though. Like you've been basically like imagine when you're in like a hot car ride and you're on like a family trip, family vacation. You're in like a hot car for like 8 hours. Just imagine how you would feel after that. It's like, yes, technically short rest or like long rest, I guess. Well, I guess it might not have. No, it probably was so long. So yeah, I guess it almost was kind of a long rest, but you didn't sleep for it. So
But we're
I
still
think
tired.
if we start this and do it tonight, when we have the advantage of hiding in the darkness and stuff, I think it's worth it to just do it now because then we can just sleep afterwards. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
we'll fall asleep in the middle of the battle. Like we're not going to be exhausted during it. We can still sleep if we need to if it doesn't
Yes.
work in the first hour or two.
And we can
Yes.
sleep while we're waiting for
them to notice and then for them to come up.
Yes.
We can have
Yeah.
watch, and whoever's on watch can be the bait. I mean, I do want Amaris to be the bait, but well, Amaris could just
sounds
stay up the
so
whole
wrong.
night and just remain the bait. I mean, it's her decision. She
Okay,
did
let's go.
volunteer for the position. She volunteered as tribute.
I did volunteer.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
What if we just dig like a trench in the sand and then like hide behind the trench?
That's basically
long
what I
would
was
that
saying with the hills, but it works.
Okay.
Yeah, just make our own.
Anyone have mold earth?
That would be quick, wouldn't it?
I don't.
Let me look at my spells again.
All right, we have our plan. Let's go put it in motion.
But
Fantastic.
we're already there at the aqueduct, right? Or are we talking on our way to the aqueduct?
Yeah, you
guess
guys
we're-
were talking on your way to the aqueduct, but you're
Okay.
there now.
Good. Okay, let's
All right.
dig something and drain the aqueduct.
Once we get our spot, I will start draining, but I'd rather, just in case you don't have enough time to actually dig your little trench, I'd rather do it before I drain the aqueduct.
Oh, you're going to drain the aqueduct? How are you going to drain the aqueduct, Douse? Isn't that going to take time?
Just don't worry about it. I can take care of it.
Glances
You
at
see me
Nuri.
control. You see me control water before. I can just send it off
Oh,
elsewhere.
it's true, but you don't want to waste it.
Well, then I'll just put it in my endless water bag. That way, the water is not wasted. It's still existing.
Merilla like wonders,
Sure,
is
that
that how it works? But she doesn't say anything.
Douse knows that's not how it works, but Douse knows that.
But I mean, endless water doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Nuri is gonna go down the path like a little bit.
Okay.
Let's say like 200 feet down. Would that put me in the town? Because I don't want to be in the town. I don't want to be close, like too close.
Yeah, no, I threw you guys up there in that corner, even though it's technically really close to the town.
Yeah,
We
Symbolic.
we said like 15 minutes out, right?
well, so you guys
So
walk directly east, so technically you guys are like 30 minutes away from the town.
okay,
Okay, then 200 feet. Yeah, we're good. I'm gonna go 200 feet, and then I'm gonna set up an alarm around that section of the aqueduct. So hopefully, when or if people start approaching, I'll know, because it can be a silent alarm in my head that
Okay.
goes off if I'm within a mile. So
Okay. So you go back to where you're at, having set the alarm.
before all this, if I got a chance, I'd grab Amaris on the side, and be like, it came to my knowledge that you and Nuri were aware of my relationship with Dane. I know that can be a touchy subject, but if you want to talk about it some other time, because we are too busy right now, but whenever you want to talk about it, you can come. Let me know how you feel about it. Yeah,
Amaris
And then
just
he'd go-
nods.
he'd go and then start draining. Just kind of one of those like, I should approach this while I should, and while I can.
I don't know why, but I just felt the tension immediately come.
Spiked for a second, and then he's like, "Whoop, that's tension," and walked away.
And nope.
Okay, so really quick, are we doing the plan now?
Yes,
Sorry.
that is my
Alright,
thought.
Then Amaris is gonna go get into position.
What does position look like for you?
It would be right.
Yeah, it would look like she's in the spot where like in a way that shows, oh hey, I'm the one who shut off your water, come and get me, kind of thing.
Okay. Okay, so you're just gonna stand there by one of the poles, I would assume. Right by the
Yeah.
where it's stopping. Okay, so Douse, how are you doing this? Because they are like tubes, like a closed tube.
Oh, it's a closed tube?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so sand doesn't get inside.
Saw it open.
Yeah, I was like, how can I
Or
break this
drill.
open? Is there any like decent sized rocks around me, or should I just punch it?
You can find a decent sized rock, probably,
I
but you're not sure how well that'll. Yeah. You can
I
find
need to
about
break
one
it
the size
open.
of your fist.
Yep. All right. I will take it and I will try to break open the top of the container.
We're all
Make
like right there, right?
Yeah. Make a strength check or an athletics check.
All right. 3 versus my strength, which would be also 3, so it doesn't matter.
So it's 3?
Oh. No, that was my
Oh, your ad.
modifier. That is a 19.
19. Okay.
I'm not trying to make a big crack, but just enough for water to be able to slip out.
Oh, so you're doing it underneath and not on top?
Well, on top, but I want water to slip out because I'm going to drain it using shape water into my thing.
Bracelet.
Into my
Okay.
bracelet, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you can track it enough that you can see the water inside so you can cast shape water and start
Okay.
like guiding it.
I will hold my endless decanter down as if I was to be filling it, like I had said previously. And I'm just going to use shape water to cause the water to flow up. And once it gets to my hand, it goes up the wrist to my bracelet.
Okay. And as it's coming into your bracelet, it is eagerly being siphoned away inside.
Draw
The
noises.
Sorry, I
there's
just want to like Nuri would be interested if it worked, so she'd be kind of like in position like side eyeing. Can I like make perception check to see if I see it's going into the bracelet?
Sure, make a perception check.
Should I roll against it or
Roll a sleight of hand check.
sleight of hand?
Will we get lore?
That's
Oh,
cocked.
Maybe.
Lord.
That is a dirty
Lore!
20.
No, mine was an 11.
You can give me disadvantage if you want to say that that doesn't make any sense to going inside it.
I would say you do have a little bit of disadvantage just because, like, it really doesn't make sense to a wizard.
Okay, I'm not going to touch it. I will show you what I rolled.
It's even better. It's a natural 20.
No.
So we can't.
Yeah, we can't see anything.
Oh, here we go.
Here we
What's the
go.
die? What's the die?
Can you see it?
They're both
That is
18. Oh, come on.
Can't make this up.
Okay. All right, so Nuri, you can't really tell. He's like kind of hiding it with his body. He's like right next to the aqueduct. It's pretty low to the ground at this point. So while you're doing this, you can't really like move from where you're at, Douse. Unless you go to where you're hiding and you're like siphoning all the water out, like water bending continuously.
That's the intent.
Okay.
Well, to make it stop permanently, we could just stick some rocks in there, a big old rock or something, or
Yes, but I imagine the people of the town may come back. In that case, they will need the water.
Then we take the rock out.
But putting in a rock would require a
Big
bigger
break.
break, which would be harder to fix.
Dusty, you're kind of strong, aren't you? Being a tall boy and all that.
Not really. I mean, I
Oh.
can shape into animals who are fairly strong, but that's about it.
Do you think one of them could kind of put a pinch in the tube? Oh wait, it's wood. It's wood. Never mind. That's a bad idea. I was thinking it was metal and could just.
Well, since it's just a small one. Bring the people away, and then we can question them longer. Because if we stop breaking the flow of it, then the water will come back, and then they won't suspect why their people are gone. Because it takes
That's
time
true.
to travel back.
Yeah.
I think this will work perfectly.
No flaws in our plan whatsoever.
I'm confused by the plan. Are you just continuing with what it was?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So we're just gonna forever reroute the water into Douse's bracelet. Not that we know that.
Mhm.
We're just what we're
So
doing
then
is we're
how
trying
is-
to
So is
persuade
Douse
one of
just
them to
gonna
come out.
stay there and hide while Amaris is the bait? That's my big question.
Yeah, I mean, you technically have to see the water.
Once they come up here, we can then talk to them. We don't need to continuously siphon it. And as soon as we have the person here, we've done our job of baiting them up here.
But what if we want to bait more up here? I thought that was part of the intent of the plan was gradually
You
getting
can
them all
just
out
drain
potentially.
it again, and then they'll be
Yeah.
really
Oh, okay.
confused.
They'll become very confused, and they will send more up. Be
This
wondering
is too
what is
many
going
brain
on.
cells for
All
me.
right, sounds good.
This is way too many
When
brain
the
cells
when
for
the
me.
DM is also adding to your plan reasons why you should just keep going with the plan, that means you should probably do the plan.
Do the plan.
Let's do the
That
plan.
should be
Plans are
like the
hard.
next Valor.
I mean, I'm
Plans
already
are
siphoning
hard.
it. We're on the clock now.
During
I
this time,
know.
Dusty's just digging with his shield. He's making a pile behind him, sand. Gonna hide behind it.
Sand and dirt.
Sand and dirt. Yeah.
Will's
I'll
just
go
with
and
Dusty.
join.
That's my excuse.
I'm gonna go join Dusty now because I can't figure out how this water thing is working.
And we will stay
Okay,
here
I'm
until
gonna
something
say-
changes.
It takes about 15 minutes to get a decent pile and crevice that you guys can kind of hide in. It's really tight for all of you guys, but it works, you know? Douse, you're continuously pouring the water in. And since it has been 15 minutes of you bringing this water in, your bracelet, the gem on it, the whirlpool gem, is kind of glowing a soft blue.
Oh, that's good.
The lore.
The lore.
But people are not looking at me anymore, are they?
No, people aren't
Sadly.
looking at you, but I'm saying it's it's not like it's a flashlight or whatever. It's like a soft, faint blue. It's not like it's glowing very brightly.
I mean, as long as there's a torch nearby, it won't be that noticeable.
Well, the moon
we-
is also out, so it's pretty bright out already.
Okay.
So that's why I'm not even worrying about not having dark vision or anything, because you guys can see pretty well. Because of the moon. And so basically it's glowing softly. You do hear in you do hear kind of in the back of your head it's just this little curiosity as she's just kind of do you intend to just give me water for this extended period of time?
I assumed you
I'm not-
wouldn't mind.
I mean, I don't, but I'm not quite as thirsty as I was before.
That's fine. I mean, can you ever
Don't
have
mind. A
too
little extra
much?
water. Yeah, a little extra water never hurt anyone, but It is a little
I'm sorry,
ridiculous.
are you complaining that I'm
Sierra's
giving you more
living.
than you wanted?
It's too little water. Now it's too much. You can't be satisfied.
Oh my goodness, this woman.
Is it a
It's
woman?
like-
I mean,
Back
that's
up,
just
back up, back
Emily's
up.
default voice, but she has described it as kind of like neither
Feminine.
like super male, and it kind of like switches.
Yeah, it just switches
It's a
Yeah.
around
complicated relationship.
It is a complicated
with
relationship.
something.
I mean, in my mind, I've referred to it as Her Majesty, and so it is a female.
Smart boy.
She's just, I'm not complaining. I just find it interesting. Quite the flow of water.
Is there something I shouldn't be doing?
No. I do enjoy
Okay.
it.
No.
Well, I'm glad you do.
Hmm.
Drink as much as you like until, we have
As
company.
much as I like.
Well, I would
You do
prefer you
still
to
owe me
actually
that
drink some.
favor. Don't forget that.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
I just like reminding you.
Fair enough.
Mhm. Don't worry, I
I
won't
mean-
call on it right now.
That is much
She's way too
appreciated.
pleased.
She's actually seems like in a really good mood right now. Like really good mood.
That is so prime.
Like you kind of get the feeling that all this like extra water is making her feel real good. She's just like, hydration is so good, guys. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated out there.
Megan, get her high on water.
Yeah.
Water's the new drug.
That's how you have her in a good mood. No, jot that down, Dane.
Get drunk off of water. No. Drunk or high? Which one is it?
More just happy. It's like when
Yeah.
you give a girl like chocolate, she's happy.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. It's like you just got her flowers and chocolates, and she's like, "Oh,
Valentine's Day, I
It's a
gave her a
favor.
water
Like
bottle.
you've thought of her. You've put some effort into this.
15 minutes of water. Now 20 minutes of water." She's a
We had
queen.
30.
Okay,
Dusty.
can we make it 30?
Should we also probably dig a spot for Douse when he has to run away?
Good question. I suppose so. Dusty kind of like gets up. He's like, we might have enough time to dig just a little bit more in this one.
I
It
mean,
really
I'm
doesn't help
fine
you.
staying up here.
Well, you're not like up anywhere. Like the aqueduct section that you guys are at is just slightly raised up. So you're basically like standing next to it.
I don't need a spot because this way they see the reason for their troubles.
So
Yeah.
is Amaris no longer bait then?
Yeah.
She'd still be up here. She'd be the one
You
talking.
both the bait?
The point is for them to chase Amaris, not you.
Fine.
Out
I'll
of
come hide.
character. Anyway, sorry.
All right. Dusty just kind of like carves out a little bit more to try and get a space for Douse as well.
Really helps you.
He figures it took about 15 minutes to do this much for like 4 people, so adding another person probably won't take that much longer.
Sierra, you feel a ping.
Oh, they're 200 feet away. They're 200 feet away. Everybody stop.
Right. I'll stop, cap my thing, put it to the side, and run and jump over.
Is his hiding spot finished yet?
It's like half finished, so like his feet are like sticking out.
I'm short, remind you.
Yes. Yes, I
Okay.
know. As you're like
Amaris-
diving.
About time.
Amaris is gonna stay where she is to make sure she's the one who's seen.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put Amaris right here. All the rest of you guys are all gonna be right along here. Nuri right there. Okay? Basically, this is like a little Actually, if we're being technical. Yes, you're right. There. Slightly poking out.
Fantastic.
There we go.
Also, everyone get their ropes ready.
Okay. And so
ready
we're
to
gonna
lasso them.
for the sake of like the battle map, the houses aren't here. Pretend they're not here. That it's just stretch of aqueduct. No, now I gotta figure out which one's when. Go. Super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Thank you. Thank you.
I got you.
Thank you. Okay. Alrighty. Amaris. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me. Okay. Can everyone roll perception for me?
Oof.
Oh, dang it.
Oh no.
Melissa's just taking the time to eat some more. It's probably the last of her bread.
Oh,
So
sad
she's just
day.
absorbed in that a little bit too much.
Yeah.
That explains her 8.
Okay. So Merilla got an 8, Dusty got a 15, Megan got a 4, Sierra got an 11, and Douse got a 7. So Dusty,
Correct.
you're the only one that's really caring about this.
Oh,
As
I
usual.
I think they were
care. I'm
200 feet
just.
away.
I know, I'm just messing with you. Marius, you're just kind of like, like, when are they gonna come? Just kind of like twiddling your thumbs there. Um, as two jackal wares come close, and they start to come closer, and they see you. They stand about, how far is this? Where's my ruler? 25 feet away from you. And they're like, you actually hear one of them, it sounds more feminine. She goes, "What you doing there, missy?"
So Amaris is just kind of sitting there, and she looked over and is just like, "Oh, can't a passerby just get some water? It is dreadfully hot in the sun."
Pretty chilly right now, but that's also because it's night. And she's,
Well, there's no harm in being prepared.
yes, but seems you don't know. You've stopped the drain down at our place.
Oh, and she like looks over at it, just like, I didn't think I left anything in there.
The girl one comes up a little closer, 10 feet closer. The other one stays back. And she kind of clasps her wolf-like hands together. And she just goes, "You see, that's not really something you should be doing." And she kind of has this like wolfish grin. Um, I should probably describe. So the jackal wares, they look kind of like werewolves, but they've got like really like tall pointed ears like a jackal. I'm gonna show to the camera to everyone here on this thing. Let's see how close I can get. I don't know if you can really tell very well from my picture.
Okay.
But almost like a werewolf, basically. For you guys, that's what it is. Yeah.
Good.
Because I got pictures. These are really nice cards, guys.
Cool.
Alrighty. Make sure that's still going. Okay. Alrighty. She just goes, now, well, but you're in a bit of a pickle now.
Am I?
Yes, you are. You see, there's two of us and one of you.
Really interesting. And she kind of looks around, and it's just like, because all I see around here are stupid beasts. And then she runs.
Where is
She
she
just-
running?
Where is she running?
She's running towards the group. That's the plan.
She's running up the water duct or past the water duct, past us.
Okay, we're gonna enter initiative. Okay,
Mhm.
everyone, roll for initiative.
Oh. Oh, that's not so bad.
Alrighty, did anyone get above a 20?
No.
No. Oh, you rolled them all into the chat. You guys are so wonderful.
I didn't have a token selected, so it's not automatically part of the initiative tracker. Sorry.
I see. Douse, what is your bonus your initiative bonus?
+2.
+2. Okay.
You tied with someone, that means.
Yep.
Quite exciting.
Alrighty, so doing this.
Dun, dun, dun. Guys, this is the first like fight we've had in like 5 sessions or
Yo,
something.
I know,
that
right?
isn't
Yeah, we're-
PvP. Hype.
We're finally in a battle. Like, geez, come on.
Let's hope this doesn't end as quickly as our PvP one.
I built a character for combat, and then here we are.
Dusty, Greg, and Megan, you both have the same dexterity bonus, and you both got a 15 for initiative. So, who would you like to go first?
Megan.
Okay.
Okay. I think that would work best for the plan.
Lee.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, first on the initiative is the bad guys. Yeah, they beat you down. Sorry about that. So basically, you like start to book it. And the female jackalware is gonna come running up. And she is going to look at you, and you must make a wisdom saving throw.
She looks deep into your eyes.
The
No.
back is Oh my gosh, no.
Quite impressive.
Not
I
one.
didn't realize it was
minus
possible to
one.
roll a 0.
You got a 0.
Well, when you've got a -1 in wisdom,
This is why I.
Okay.
that's a nat 1.
So
Oh.
as she comes over and looks into your eyes as you are like starting to run away, you feel this like sharp pain like kind of in your head, and you collapse in the ground instantly. Making sure. Yeah. To the view of everyone, she just collapses. For technical purposes, Amaris, you are unconscious, asleep. And let's see. So then we go to this guy who comes running up. It's 25 feet. So he actually goes up and He is going to hold his action. Yes, he's holding his action. And you hear a growl from behind you
Hold on.
all.
I'm sorry,
Oh
hold on.
shoot.
Merilla gives a good point. Can half elves be charmed to sleep?
Half elves. I know elves themselves have advantage against being put to sleep.
Okay, because I remember reading that in the handbook.
Who's got the lowest
Gotcha.
PHP?
PHP, buy your own today.
For sure.
Magic
let's
can't
see
put
here.
elves to sleep,
Oh,
so they have advantage against being charmed.
do you have the Fey ancestry?
Yeah,
You have advantage on saving
Yes.
throws against charmed.
Yes.
So
that was really bad. I'm so sorry.
But I mean, that doesn't change the fact that we have another one right behind us, guys.
no, but she does get advantage, so it changes whether she's unconscious or not.
If it was magic, though,
So it's
True.
not magic. It's not a magic spell.
Okay.
It's a creature effect.
It's hypnosis.
I'm still gonna double check to see what that is for half elves.
So I just looked at the half elves thing. If you have the Fey ancestry, but the thing
Yes.
is that it's technically a monster effect rather than
it's not magic.
it's not a magic spell that she's doing.
Okay.
Okay, but that still applies to the half elf.
Yes. So if someone were to cast the sleep spell, you cannot be put to sleep by it.
Should have advantage
Hmm.
against it.
Well, she has advantage against being charmed, but on sleeps. So like when that one dude in the one city tried to charm her, she had advantage on the saving throw against being charmed.
Gotcha.
Okay, hold on. I found it. It says you have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and
Mhm.
magic can't put you to sleep.
Yeah, that's
But it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
magic that
So,
they're using. It's a beast
It's not
effect.
magic, but if it is still a charm effect, if I'm getting this right, if it's still a charm effect, I should still have advantage on that.
yeah, but this isn't a charm effect. This is a sleep gaze that jackal wares have, which is a monster effect that they
I
have.
see.
So it's not magic. It's kind of like when you look into the eyes of a cockatrice, they can petrify you, so you turn to stone, which is a monster effect. Not like a magic spell. It's like part of who they are.
Okay.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So that's like the difference there. But good thing we clarified that. So you were still asleep, schnoozing.
Dramatic.
Drama. Yes. And up from behind, there is a growl. And can Douse, Merilla, Dusty, and Nuri each roll a d20 for me?
A D20?
This is going to
Just-
determine who gets got.
11.
It's Merilla. Oh no! No,
Dane got an
Dusty!
11.
Got an 8.
Dusty got an 8.
No,
Merilla got a
Nuri
9.
got a 3.
Oh,
Nuri got a
gosh,
3.
no.
Unless it goes priority wise, where the higher the number, the one he goes for.
Yeah, it's going for Nuri.
I'm not even I'm like staring at these jackal wares. I just get attacked
Yeah,
from
and
behind.
so this was actually a surprise attack because it did have a nat 20 on its stealth roll. And I had you all roll for perception. So, yeah, so he comes up behind you and like kind of like grabs you and turns you around to like look at you, basically. So I need you to make a
So
wisdom
he's doing
saving.
a grapple check then?
Well, it's more like he is trying to just look at your eyes. He's not trying to grab you. He's just making eye contact, basically.
Okay.
Come on, Nuri. Nuri.
Wisdom save.
Hey!
Woo!
Yeah, you got a
Yes!
20. Okay, so on a successful
but-
save, you are immune to this specific Jackalware's gaze for the next 24 hours. So he cannot use his gaze on you again for the next 24 hours.
Scream!
And it does say specifically to this Jackalware's gaze.
Oh, nice. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Not all
So
of
I'm
them.
gonna put him in that corner. So he does that, and then you kind of your eyes kind of droop a bit, but then they snap back open. And that was his action on his turn. And I did say the other one was holding his action. So it is now. Where did I put that? Douse. It is now your turn, Douse.
Yes. Douse, seeing he has no idea that Nuri just got attacked too much because he's focusing on Amaris, is going to run over there and aim for the knees of them.
Okay, we're gonna pause before you do that because his action is triggered. Because you have come out from the thing and popped up, his held action is now triggered. You need to make a wisdom saving throw as he is looking at your eyes.
A threatening gaze.
Threatening. Yes.
Okay.
I'm not trying to seduce you. Would you like me to
Where's
seduce
my wisdom? There we go. 2 plus, so that is a 13.
13. Let's make a DC. Okay. Alrighty. Your eyes begin to droop. And then they snap open again. So you kind of slow down for a second, and then you're like, wait, Amaris, gotta save her. And so this particular Jackalware, I need you guys to help me remember. You cannot be put to sleep by this guy.
All right, I'm calling him Davy.
Okay, Davy. Davy cannot put you to sleep.
Davy Jones.
Davy, Tabitha, and Brookie is behind us.
Davy
Don't ask me where I
Well,
got
I
those
mean-
names.
I don't actually know if this is a he or she yet. My character. He hasn't heard
The
a voice.
two other ones are guys. The one girl one
Okay.
is a girl. Davy, Tabitha, and Brookie. We're gonna call them that. Perfect. All right, Douse,
Yep.
are you punching?
Yep. So that was what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and come from behind and punch their knees from there. So distance wise, about 25 feet. I should be able to get.
Yeah, you make it there.
And again, going for the knees, getting them to my level.
Okay, roll to hit.
All right. That is a 15 plus. I keep closing things. 15 plus 4 to hit, so that is a 19.
You hit. Roll for damage.
All right, and I will be doing flurry of blows after this.
Okay.
That is 3 damage.
3 points of damage. Okay.
Yes.
Flurry of blows. Alrighty.
I'm just trying to get this guy down on the ground. I'm not so much trying to kill, but either unconscious or prone.
Okay. So you're not going for a kill.
Correct.
Okay.
That
Good to know.
is a 9 and a 14.
The hit?
Yes.
The 9
flurry
does
of
not
blows
hit,
is
but
2
the
hits.
14 does hit.
Yes. Another D4 to the back of the knees. And that's another 3 damage.
Okay. Alrighty. As you just kind of come in and knock wildly, get these 2 punches on the back of his knees, he kind of stumbles to to his knees. He falls into the sand. But he's not prone. He does just fall to his knees.
Ideally,
Alrighty.
we'd like to talk, but we will take you on if we need to.
That's what you say?
Yes.
Okay. Well, they won't respond until their turn. So, Amaris, because
She's
they're not going to
asleep.
spend their reaction on that. Oh, yeah, Amaris, you're asleep, so I'm so sorry. We're going to Dusty now.
Fantastic. All right.
Sad day.
Yeah, it says
Dusty-
that you're unconscious for 10 minutes.
Dusty's gonna look up at this jack-aware that's next to him, and then he's gonna look out towards the other two, and he's going to hop over this wall and try to make
So,
it over to
He does
Morris.
get an opportunity attack on you.
It's totally fine. Take it. See what
Okay.
happens.
Which he is going to high or low, Dusty, actually.
Hi.
He is going to that's not good. He's going to do his bite attack. Ooh, with a 6 to hit.
That misses.
He rolled really bad. Okay, that does miss. So he tries to snap at you, and you just dodge right over the little wall that you guys made.
Good. Now I'm gonna go over to Amaris, and I'm going to try and like scoop her up onto my back, and then wild shape into a camel.
Camel.
Huzzah.
What do you call a 3-humped camel? Pregnant.
Stop.
Yeah.
I've
Thank
not heard
you.
that one.
What? Just teasing at this point.
Sorry. Okay, so you can pick her up and you can turn into a camel, but you don't have any more movement after that. Because
Totally
you
fine.
would have spent some of that to pick her up and then wild shape. And
That would be my action. Actually, before I wild shape, I can use my bonus action, which I should use. To do
The
a
splits. Oh.
yes.
No, wait. You change it to the camel, then you use your bonus action to spit on them.
No,
It blinds them.
that'd be
They
fantastic.
can no longer use
but
their gaze.
No. Okay. Let us see. Let's see here. I'm looking at. Oh, okay. I'm going to summon a bear totem. That's what I'm going to do.
okay.
So this will give temporary hit points to all of our party members, equal to 5 plus my druid level, which is 4. So 9 total temporary hit points to all of you. And
Hey.
you have advantage on saving throws
Hey.
while you're in the 30-foot aura.
That would have been nice.
Yeah, a little bit ago, huh?
Megan, just your face. You're just like,
But alas.
Yep.
And then he gets underneath Amaris and turns into a camel and just boop. She just like
Okay.
pops up on top of him.
Alrighty, perfect. Now we're going to Merilla.
Okay. So did Dusty just use his totem? Is it the unicorn totem? Sorry, I was thinking
The
about
bear.
her.
It's a bear.
Oh. Okay, I just always have to check. So with Marilla's 16 passive perception, is she aware, especially now that Dusty is out of the way, of the jack-aware that is behind
Oh.
us and that has gotten tried to get Nuri's attention?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So she is going to
It spooks you.
yeah, that's fair.
You're like,
Oh
oh,
gosh. When did you get that? And like hurls firebolt at it. Just like as a reaction. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong thing to roll for this.
hurls a firebolt. She's just like,
Hey, that's a 24.
24 to hit.
Yes.
Oh, dang. Okay, roll for damage.
6.
6 points of damage.
Yes, and her bonus action, she is going to. I have no idea if this is
Oh,
going to be worth
goodness.
anything or not, but she's going to yell at Amaris. Amaris! Wake up! Bardic inspiration.
Unfortunately, that does
Yeah, I
not
know.
that is not enough to wake her up. But Amaris, you have bardic inspiration. Actually, no, she can't hear you,
Yeah,
so
so
it doesn't
that's
stick.
something Merilla would do.
She could have very inspiring dreams.
Yes, your dreams feel inspired. You're a rock star.
Mhm. Yeah, she can't hear me. Nope. But
Okay, beautiful. Okay,
Now, were you calling her beautiful, or were you saying that the action was beautiful?
my understanding was beautiful. That's what it was.
okay. Nuri, your turn.
I was like so focused. The guy turns me around, staring at me, growling at me for no apparent reason. And then he bites at Dusty. He gets shot with a fireball. Is he wearing any armor? Or is
He's
he
covered
just
in fur. So like he's a jackalwere. He's in his hybrid form right now. So he's covered in fur. So he's a little singed. That he was just like kind of smacking out some of the fire. But
I'm just gonna like do a little screech and just do like a little hit the bottom of his jaw upwards with my palm. And at the same time, cast shocking grasp, and I'm just like,
he's going,
okay.
okay. Roll to hit.
I don't think I had done it in that. So let me fix that.
Can this
Roll to
please
hit.
make him poofy?
That would be
If it-
so funny.
We'll have to see. Gotta hit him first.
Well, probably not.
Would
It's
you
an
roll?
8.
Your hands get all sparky and you try to hit him, but he was just burned by the fireball and now he sees those little blue sparks and he's like, not about it. And he kind of like curls over, like pulling his stomach, like pulling his body away. He's like, oh,
No,
and you
girl.
just like, not girl, consent. This is like,
Super married, guys. Super married. Super married.
and you miss. Long story short.
Well, since I missed, I'm gonna get to my feet. The wall behind me, and I'm
Half
kind
your
of like
movement.
looking at that guy, and I'm like, I'm watching you, man. I'm watching you.
All right, so you managed to use half your movement to stand up.
Yeah, that's all I can do.
Which now that I'm realizing Dusty and Douse should have done also, but that's
But they're
okay.
still in distance of where they went, though,
Fine.
I think. So
I wasn't a racing start, you know? How they're
Yeah,
like,
I leapt to action. Yeah.
I love this. Okay. Alrighty, back to their turn. And since you threw a fireball at him, Merilla, make a wisdom saving throw
Oh, with advantage.
with advantage.
Okay. Because he's looking at me now and I'm looking at him.
Yeah, he's looking at you and he kind of comes over
Shoot, what was
closer
his
to
name?
you. This was
Brock.
Bryn.
Brocky.
Brookie.
Brody. Brookie. That's probably what it was.
Brookie.
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay, 20
Doubt
on your
not
wisdom
my
saving
old
throw.
woman. Doubt not my
It's
old
not
woman
his
wisdom.
day. The old woman wisdom. He's not able to catch you off guard.
I
as
see you for what you are.
he comes over you like winks and and you're just like
That's
mm-mm.
gross.
Well, not in that way. He just winks with his little gaze.
It's the
we're
Merilla thing.
enemies.
If they
Why are you
wink,
winking at me?
But he also came closer to you. So Nuri, you do get an attack of opportunity because he's trying to get away from you.
Delio. Can I use a melee spell against him or not? I don't think I can.
No, it's
Not in
just
a
like
reaction.
not in
No.
a reaction.
It's just a
Well,
smack with
I
whatever you're holding.
don't
Yeah.
have I have my pen. Well, so
Don't you have the
we're
weapons
just
you
gonna
bought?
Stab him with it.
So
Don't you have
I
the
would
weapons
I'm
that you
not
bought?
I don't have them pulled out though.
Oh.
make
that
a
a free action?
strength roll. So I would just make a roll and add your strength modifier as an unarmed strike, basically, with your pen.
My pen. For piercing damage.
That's a real
Not-
sacrifice.
I'm just like okay. Let me see if I remember how to do this. Plus strength, you said modifier.
Yes, add your strength modifier.
Oh, well, that's the same.
Ooh, 19. Okay, Nuri, pop off.
I was ready
Alrighty.
for him to go. I was ready.
That's my
The old
cousin.
woman.
Okay,
What can I roll for damage since it's
I
a
would-
quill?
it's a
Magic
quill, so I would just say it's 1 point of piercing damage, just straight up.
Okay.
As you stab him in the arm, he does manage to get away. But he just goes as he comes around you trying to get away from you and coming closer to Merilla. He just gets around on the other side of Merilla because he's like, this other chick, I mean, yeah, she threw a fireball at me, but like this other girl's trying to shock me and like not a fan of that.
Stabbed him with a pen.
Yeah. Let's see. This Daryl, was that his name? I don't
No one
remember.
was named Daryl.
Davy.
Davy.
Davy. It was
That's
Davy.
what we were calling him.
Huzzah,
I mean,
Dave.
what's the point of the names if we can't even remember them?
True.
So Davy is going to come over. He is going to use 5 point. I'm going to say it just takes 5 feet of his movement to like get back up. Well, I guess
Doesn't it take half
prone.
movement?
Well, so he's not prone.
He's not
Oh,
prone.
that's right.
He's
That's
on
right.
his
That's right.
knees.
Sorry.
He's on his knees, but he's not prone. So I'm going to say it'll take him to get to this square that's just 5 feet away. It'll take him like 10 feet of his movement, basically, just because he like is kind of jumping back to his knees, to get out of that. And oh wait, actually, he's just gonna stand up using 5 feet of movement to stand up and stay where he is, actually, because he does get advantage being 5 feet to his ally. And he is going to attack you, Douse, because he's not a fan that you just jabbed him in the freaking knees. He's like, he actually turns around and he goes, like when you punch him, he just goes, hey.
I need
I
those
said
to
we would like
adventure.
to talk.
Oh yeah, because you said last you were like, we just want to talk, right? So he says, hey, and he's like, he goes, rude, and he's going to attack you, with his scimitar. He pulls out a sword, and with a 23 to
It
hit.
misses. Misses. No, that
I don't
definitely
think
hits.
so. Oh my gosh, but he got the lowest amount of damage, 3 points of slashing damage, because he rolled really poorly.
I'll just turn back to rude.
And then he's gonna put his sword up and he goes, now we're square.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
The girl is going to disengage as her action. to get away. Oh well, she's right there. None of them are wearing metal, Nuri. Or Merilla.
Merilla.
Okay. And she is going to use her 40 feet of movement. So she is disengaged and she starts running off. And as she gets down to the base, you see her turn and she looks up and she just starts howling. Going,
I expend an
A silent howl because it was too high. We couldn't hear it.
oh,
It's that tones that only dogs can hear.
Yeah, still can't hear that one either.
ow. Ow, ow. I don't know if anyone else can hear it on the
It's like an
stream.
angry cat. It's like an angry cat. That's what it sounds like.
Ow,
And they're dogs.
ow.
That's funny.
Nice.
Okay, well then just know that my howls are pretty cool. They sound good. I bet you my roommates aren't a fan of them, but
Is it possible to expend Marilla's action now rather than on her turn? No, okay. So no.
no. You
Okay.
have to go on your turn. But with that howl, you do see that uh both of the guys that were here, they do instantly howl back. And you hear lots of howls off in the distance. Just this chorus of howls that all happen in 6 seconds, and we're going to Douse.
Oh, Rat, perhaps we should have thought of that.
I'm seeing if Flurry of Blows requires me to punch first, or if I could dash and then use it.
Also, you are technically flanking this guy, so you would have advantage. She also is 40 feet away.
That's why I was thinking of dashing,
Oh, she's
because
technically 40 feet away. Bring her back.
I would be able to catch up to her, but if I can't hit her, then there's not really a point.
Yeah.
Can you dash with a cunning action type deal, or is that just rogue? Am I just
That's
thinking
just
a rogue?
rogue.
That's
Okay.
just rogue.
You can take the dodge action as a bonus action, so kind of better, but I don't know. Maybe just maybe.
Where's my Flurry of Blows?
Get on top of me, hold your action, and then I'll run up to her, and you can just beat her up. I have two slots. One of them is being taken by an unconscious person. The other one could be taken by you. I have the speed.
Maybe after you take the attack action on your turn, you can spend one key. Ah, damn! I have to actually attack.
Yeah, you have to use the attack action.
Because, I mean, this guy, he held his weapon up, and I was like, all right, we're good. We're cool.
Yeah, you don't know what the howl means.
True.
I assume though.
But yeah, I mean, best to assume the worst in this scenario.
Yeah.
As
Would I be
my
able-
7th grade math teacher would say every single day for the entire school year, no matter what you do, you never assume.
I like
If
your
I-
math teacher.
Yeah, he's a cool math teacher. I can't remember his name. I feel kind of bad, but he was cool.
If I use the dash action, could I just like jump at her and see if I can tackle?
No,
Even just to knock her over?
no, well, because that would technically be like a grapple action, and if you're using because you can't jump like 10 feet,
I
you
don't know.
know?
Does he have the ring of jumping or the boots? Has he
No,
attuned to them?
I have not.
For shame.
I don't think I got those either. Did I?
Someone has the boots. I think I have the ring.
Does Amaris have the boots?
No, Amaris took the necklace.
Oh, I have the boots. I
But
have
you
not
haven't
attuned to them,
attuned
but I
them.
have them.
You need to attune to them. Alrighty.
Fair enough. Anyways, well, if that's the case, I'm like, all right, we're cool. We're cool. I'll hold my action in case he attacks anyone to, or actually, if we're cool, I will go around and I will wake up Amaris, see if I can just kind of slap her on the face a little bit.
Yeah, if you spend your action to shake them awake, they will wake up.
All right, I will shake her awake. Like, all right, we're cool. Let's talk this out.
And he does growl at that action, but he does not do anything.
And that will be my turn.
Okay. So you see this happen. It is now Amaris's turn. You are groggily waking up on the back of the camel. To Douse shaking you awake.
Saying, all right, then let's talk this out.
Yeah, saying, all right, then let's talk this out.
So Amaris just wakes up. Where'd the camel come from?
Where'd the camel?
Let's see here. How far is this juggler away?
40 feet.
40 feet away.
If you hold your action, I
Okay.
can get you to him.
Let's see here. I need to.
Dusty, to that jackaware!
You know,
Onward!
that's his job.
All right, let's see here.
Okay.
Okay. So I think on that point.
So you have one action.
Yes.
Okay.
So I get to choose the point that this gets to be used, correct? Or where
Shatter.
it
A sudden loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from a point within your of your choice within range, which is 60 feet. Each creature in a 10-foot radius centered on that point must make a con save. Otherwise, they take 3 damage on it. 3d8 damage. Okay. Yeah, you get to pick where the point is.
Does that include? So if I stay where I am now, I can pinpoint it right here, and it'll still happen.
Where's right here? Can you ping it again? Yeah, you
Did you
can
see that?
ping it right on her. Because it's a range.
Okay. A range within 60. Sweet. All right. So after Amaris groggily wakes up and gets a pretty good view of what's going on now, since she wasn't able to get away, she sees the jackalware like way out there. And for those of you around, you just hear her start softly humming, and then it starts getting louder and louder until it reaches a high-pitched eerie note as she casts Shatter right on this jackalware over here.
Okay. And it's going to
That's
make a
time.
Constitution saving throw, which is a 5.
Oh, here we go.
Roll 3d8.
That is 3d8.
Are you casting it as only at level 2, not higher?
I don't have any other spell slots
Okay.
higher than 2.
All right, awesome.
It's
3d8.
just squishy. Keep that in mind, DM.
Yeah, these
What?
also keep in
We're
mind that
still
these
squishy.
jackalwares are technically are a CR of 1/2.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine, guys.
A
Yeah,
CR?
challenge
Are we
rating.
Challenge
going
rating.
to be, though?
Mhm.
Are we
So
really
CR
gonna
stands
be
for
fine?
challenge rating. That would show like how hard they are to defeat. And these
Not
aren't.
cringe rating? Oh.
Yeah, they're cringe rating.
Cringe rating. Oh my gosh.
All right. If they're squishy, let's see what
They're
happens.
scarier when
That
they're
is-
like a lot of them.
Aw, only 11 points.
That's 11 points of damage.
That's a lot on these people. um. Okay. Alrighty.
Mind blown.
Failed save. Okay.
With that high pitched note, yes.
So you guys hear that. Um. You guys hear like this loud ring, but like it doesn't affect you at all. Just kind of like a loud like ring. And you hear like the humming. But for this jackaware who was running away and like was howling, all of a sudden you just hear um all of a sudden you see her as she was like howling, and it looked like she was about to go back into running, and she just kind of like you hear this loud like um as she just like falls and like stumbles to the ground, like clawing at her ears. um and she's not dead. She's just kind of like writhing, like clawing at her ears, and kind of like on the ground, like just digging and burying herself into the sand a little bit. Um,
Might
yeah,
have burst an eardrum or two.
maybe.
That's really funny.
Um, yeah, it is now Dusty's turn.
Oh, cool. Fantastic. So Dusty is going to run with Amaris on his back, and use his movement to see if he can get to that far jackaware. He has 50 feet of movement, and he's also a large creature, so having something on his back doesn't really impede him very much.
Okay, how much speed do you have?
50 feet.
Oh yeah, you can totally make it to this jackaware.
Yeah, he's just gonna run with Amaris on his back, and he's gonna,
Oh,
if
there
he
they
can
go.
get to the other side of the jackaware, that's what he's gonna try to do.
Yeah.
Wasn't Douse on his back too?
No, I just shook Mars awake.
Mhm.
So then he's going to.
You know what I'm just realizing, guys? Remember how I said I have that DM curse where they always fail saving throws, but they do really well at like hitting you guys?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's just it's still going.
still in effect.
You just hit him? Disengaged? Or no?
Well, no, because the failed the wisdom saving throw, the con save.
Oh, okay, I thought you were
Give or
saying
take.
for
I've
attack of opportunity within
I've
meeting.
like I could probably count on
Double
one hand the amount of times that my monsters have succeeded saving throws,
Okay.
which
So-
isn't a bad thing. I just find it funny.
Dusty's gonna run over, and he is going to revert back to his human form as a bonus action. And so he just and just poof, and then Amaris just like lands on his shoulders.
You're
love
just like
that.
piggybacking.
And then he like pulls out his quarterstaff. He kind of like reaches back and looks up, and he kind of like nudges Amaris a little bit out of the way, pulls out his quarterstaff and swings at it.
Oh, hitting her while she's down. Okay.
Yep.
Roll the
He's
hit.
trying
Amaris
not
has the
to
high
kill
ground.
her.
Do
He's
you have
trying not
advantage?
to kill her? That is my goal, is to not kill her.
Okay,
And
roll
I
for
am
advantage.
using a
with it.
bludgeoning weapon. Sorry, I just
Okay.
want to make it very.
You're not going for the kill. Roll for it
Yes.
with advantage to hit
All right.
because she is prone.
Okay. Is that 2?
18 does hit. Roll for damage.
Okay, so that will be. So he's dual wielding, so it's a D8 minus 1 for damage. So that number minus 1, so 4 points of damage.
For Wait, where's the -1 coming from?
He has -1 strength.
Mm.
Oh, he's not that strong. Well, I have to edit all of my
Wait,
pictures
wait.
I've done of Dusty.
Wait, this means Nuri's actually stronger than Dusty.
Yep, he's a weak boy. But he looks super toned.
Am
Like,
I
he
like
looks,
this
like, massive.
second-
Oh, okay, good. So I
Wait,
don't
is
have to
the
change
wizard
my...
the second strongest person in the party? Is that what I'm hearing?
Basically.
Hey, my
Does-
camel had a +3 to strength, so
My strength is
when
a
you can
+1.
when you can turn into animals, you I guess you just
Wait,
you don't need to beef up.
Douse, yours is +1. Does anyone else have a +1?
Merilla actually does.
Hey, I have a +1 too.
hey, congratulations,
Okay.
guys.
Douse makes up for it in dexterity with a +2.
I have a
Oh,
+2
gosh.
too.
I have
And a +3 in
-2.
Constitution.
That's
Okay.
so funny.
All right. We'll finish through Merilla and Nuri right after this. So we'll finish the round real quick. So you smack down. She is not out, but you totally like hit her across the back, and you just hear it more like as she just kind of like digs herself deeper into the ground, almost like still like covering her ears. You can actually see looking down at her that there is red on her palms.
Dusty would call out as well. We just want to know why you're here.
She's still writhing
To
on the
the-
ground, covering her
The
ears.
deafened one.
I don't think she can hear.
With that, we're gonna go to Merilla. Your turn.
Okay, I'm double checking. Okay. So Merilla. So the Wajakaware is like in the trench now, kind of, right? Because it's standing beside Merilla now.
he's like yeah,
half
but
dug
he's
spot.
still standing. Yeah.
So Merilla. She's not going to say anything. She's just, from her hands, spark this electricity, both of them, and she's going to just be touching the...
Clear.
Yeah, basically.
Roll the hit.
Da, 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 da.
My hands are equipped with defibrillators.
Clear.
We can say those hit.
Okay. Did you roll twice?
I did, yes, because it's from both hands.
Oh, so for both hits. Okay.
Yes.
Both a 20
Wait,
and
can
22
you
do
do
hit.
Mm-hmm.
You can?
Yep.
Because she's doing twinning spell meta magic.
Soul Sada.
Sorcerers, man.
Very
Soul
cool.
Sada.
She is a very powerful sorcerer.
She did
Do
roll
not
max
doubt my
damage.
prowess.
So
Also,
Electrify.
basically max damage. That's 16. This woman and her lightning.
Make him floof. Make him floof.
You're gonna do more than floof.
Okay.
You go poof.
So you put your hands on it. This is not a very good spell for you, Marilla, because you've already killed someone with it. And you go and you electrify him, and he kind of like he sees the sparks coming, and he tries to like be like, "Oh, hold up now," and you just go ah, and you like touch him, and he big floof. He becomes a big puff ball. But you actually see him kind of grab his heart, and he just collapses to the ground. And he's
Dead?
just like, ugh.
You just went into cardiac arrest.
Yeah, and he goes still.
quite
So
sad.
is he dead?
Yeah, he's dead.
He's definitely dead.
He's dead. He's really dead.
I'm,
But he's a big fluff ball.
At least
we have
his
now
corpse
killed
was
11
cute.
creatures.
At least he technically already has a grave. She actually says that. We don't have to go digging. And he's like falling into.
He just falls. And you see the other Jackalware, he watches that happen. And his hands were in the air, and he's just like holding his sword, and his jaw just like drops, and his sword just like clatters out of his hand.
Okay, now Merilla is going to actually bardic inspiration to Douse and be like, Douse, get his weapon! Or like,
We were talking! Woman!
she
Why?
wasn't paying attention to you, man.
It's Nori's turn now.
Oh, she she just saw that happen, and she's now like, oh shoot. She's got the trench then. That, and I can move her. Oh, I'm not. There we go. Okay. And one hand, because we talked about having it out already. So she has some rope.
Wait, I'm
And
sorry,
she's
Sierra,
just,
you cut out there
sorry.
for like a hot
Yeah.
second. Can you re-say
My
what you're
internet.
doing?
So I climb out of the trench.
Okay.
I have some rope, because we said we had rope before, so I have some rope. And I'm gonna point at the most okay Jackalware.
Okay.
Just come tie yourself up, unless you want the same thing to happen to you. I'm gonna point my finger like I'm a sister.
Way to play off of it.
Okay. He'll respond on his turn, which is now, actually. You toss the rope at him, is that what you did?
Well, I'm holding it up, like come tie yourself up. Or the same thing will happen to you. So, like, I guess if he comes, I'd help tie him up. That's
Okay.
my action, my held action.
Douse would kind of be like, I am so sorry. He wasn't a friend, was he?
Are we out of initiative now?
Yeah, we're gonna go out of initiative now. As he just kind of before you said that, Douse, you see him look backwards to where the girl is like writhing on the floor and gets smacked by Dusty, and then he looks back to his friend who's dead, and
And a
and then
puffball.
you say that, and he's like, oh, he goes, he was my best man.
Maybe we can save him. Maybe we can save him.
He just like sits down, like he doesn't go over to tie himself up. He just sits down into the sand, and he's still like half Jackalware. He's like in his hybrid form. He just sits on the ground and just like puts his hands in front of him, like clasped together in his lap, and he just kind of sits there like, oh, like very
So he
distant.
doesn't. This
For-
is a joke, but it's like he doesn't come. Oh no, I got
He just
Douse is gonna go and start trying to do CPR on the guy. Like, come on,
Which guy?
the one he just killed.
The Jackalware.
Oh, Douse goes over there? You leave the guy with his weapon? Merilla's gonna be like, Douse, what the heck are you
He's
doing?
defeated.
The Jackalware who lived.
Don't waste your time.
Come
We're
to die.
out of it.
yeah,
Initiative.
we're out of initiative. So
I'm
Douse,
gonna come tie him up.
make a medicine check. Sierra, make a survival check for the knot. The girl is just writhing in pain on the ground there, and like holding her ears and whimpering.
Dusty's gonna pull out some rope and like start tying her up. Because we
That is
can
a
do this the
50.
easy way or the hard way.
She's just like still writhing. And like you start trying to tie her up, and she is fighting back, so roll survival at disadvantage.
15 for medicine.
15 for medicine. Okay. Um, you
13
do
for
your
the spell.
best. You don't know exactly what to do, as you're like trying to do something, you can basically determine that his heart has stopped and he is just dead.
CPR can't bring him back.
Well, I mean, you're not formally trained in all of this. I mean, you grew up in the monastery. There's not really like electricity down there or like people
Yeah, no,
using.
there's not.
So like you kind of are like, come back alive. What's wrong? With a 15, like, yeah, that's really good, but you like to the best of your ability, you can determine he's done so. He's dead. He's gone to werewolf heaven. Or heck, depending on who he
Jackal
was. I don't know. You know? Jackal were heaven.
As
I'll like start trying to give him
As-
some water. Like, come on, come on.
Douse. He's
Um,
dead.
We weren't trying to kill them.
She just looks at you. What were you saying, Amaris? Sorry.
as Dusty is tying up this last jackalware, Amaris is gonna look towards the town to see if there's any more jackalwares coming.
Well, the town is still like far off in the distance. You can't see anything as of right now. Because technically this fight was like 12 seconds. Um, it all happened so fast. Um, but so you don't see anything as of right now. But to kind of put a little bow on this, so Nuri, you think you did pretty decent untying him. It it could probably be a little tighter in a lot of areas, but like you did your best with a roll of 7. Um, Dusty, you rolled 13 with your disadvantage on survival, and you feel like you've done decently well in tying her up. She is like shaking, um, and whimpering. She doesn't seem to be able to understand anything you're saying.
Hmm.
Are you bringing her back over to the other one?
Yeah, he kind of picks her up by her arms, moves her over.
Okay, what should I use for the death
So not
sentence?
having a response for Douse, Merilla is just kind of like look at him and then stand there for an awkward moment and then leave and walk in and check on Nuri.
How is the note coming along, Nuri?
I would say it's pretty decent. Maybe get a stick and stick it in there, take up the little space that's there. But yeah.
Well, it's
He's
not a
just
bad
like
idea.
he just kind of like pulls at the ropes and they all come off and then he literally shows you a better knot and then slips it on his hands and just tightens it.
You're smart, Jackalware.
After a little bit, Douse
She is a
will
powerful
drag the
sorceress.
dead Jackware over and be like, do any of you guys know how to fix a stopped heart?
Douse.
Wait, did Douse like bring it out of the trench that we made?
Because he's still in the mindset of trying to save this guy.
Douse. Help me put the body back.
The guy just like looks at him and he just looks at his dead friend and he just puts his head in his hands.
Merilla looks at the Jackalware and then looks at Douse.
Awful. What the world do you think you're doing?
She's just gonna
I'm
start trying to roll him
bring
back.
him back.
I think
Why
we
bring
learned
the
from
body?
Dane
She's gonna
none
say
of
it.
us can bring him back yet, unless I bring him back as an undead.
Still roll
Listen,
with resurrection
Dusty
stuff.
says.
You have my sword, you have my bow, and your dead brother.
Oh my gosh.
So Dusty, he just is like, listen, we didn't want to have this come to this, but we're here to figure out what you're doing in this town and what the Jackalwares are doing in the desert. You're overstepping boundaries. People are starting to take note.
Over her shoulder from like trying to shove the jackaware back in its grave, as she put it.
Just starting?
You are not one to talk right now.
Is Douse try helping her or just letting her do it by herself?
He would put it back, but he wouldn't.
Fair.
If no one
Okay.
knows how, it's like, okay, show a little bit of respect for the body.
Okay. So with all of that, um, you see that the girl jackalware who has finally like stopped like squirming around and stuff, but now she's just shaking. Um, you brought her on over, and you actually see her. She kind of like frantically looks around, and she looks at like the other jackalware. And when you brought the dead body over, her eyes are just like bulging. Um, and then
But she doesn't know how to save him.
eh,
I don't think she can hear, man.
And then
I don't
you
know, though.
actually just see her kind of scooch herself closer to the other jackalware, and she just like she just lays her head and her muzzle like on his knee, and just lays there. Um,
He gets the wife.
So I was thinking.
um, and the
Great, you
other
just made a widow.
No. No. So these two alive jackalwares are married, and the one that's dead was the best man.
You don't know that.
That's what he said, though.
He said it was his best mate. That just means they're good friends.
No,
You
he's
don't
the
know
best
the girl's
man.
relationship.
no, he said best man. So he is
Okay.
married, but but the point is still you don't know their relationship. It could be some other chick, you know. But
It's fine.
But anyways, so she goes and she rests her head. You definitely see her like looking for comfort. Um, and he just like looks so defeated. As he's just looking down. Um, and he kind of like leans a little bit like into her to try, because you know, like when you're giving comfort, like that closeness. Um, so they're close, and he definitely just looks defeated as he just hangs his head, um, his hands now tied with the knot that he did. Um, and he just shakes his head and he looks up at you guys with this glare. What seemed to be sorrow at first and what was sorrow, he's now just this form of anger as he just glares at you all. Not at Douse. He's not glaring at Douse. He's actually okay with him. Um Everyone else, he's mad. And you can tell his hairs stand on end, he bristles. You actually hear the girl she kind of tenses with his like tensing. Um, and she like takes a sharp intake of breath. Um, in this moment, he steels himself, and this is the look of a man who's decided that you can do whatever you want to him, but he will not give you what you want. And with that, with the full moon up, not the full moon, but like a big moon up in the sky, we will end tonight's session.
Fantastic.
Woo! Fun stuff.
Yay!
What'd
I
you guys
never
think?
realized Merilla had such a dark side of her.
Very good. Merilla does kill a lot of people.
Kills a lot of people, but also the like comment about already having a grave.
It's like
That was totally boss, though.
that was boss. Queen Merilla, even though this
Yeah,
is
you know.
murder.
Listen,
Wasn't murder.
Murderilla.
It was self-defense.
Yeah. Like, what were they gonna
Anyway.
do? They have the history of going and pillaging and destroying. Like,
Yeah.
Merilla doesn't have much qualms.
But
Sure.
Dusty himself was saying, let's take him, let's talk to him.
Is Merilla Dusty?
No.
Oh, that's the best response. I love that. Okay,
But is
well,
Dusty her friend?
well, with that
A little
cat
bit more
fight,
than Douse's.
we can finish this cat fight next week. But
Maybe a little bit lot.
Or I guess
Especially
dog
now.
jackal fight. Anyways,
Jackalware incident.
thank you all so
Water
much for
fight.
coming, everyone who came to watch the session and join us in on the adventure. We are so grateful to have you guys along. And please comment in the chats, like you guys have been doing, but let us know if you want us to have more audience interaction, have like actual events and things be affected by what you guys say. So let us know. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this. And with that, is there anything else you guys would like to leave them with?
Eat your bread.
Drink
Stay
your water.
hydrated.
Greg, you're muted if you said anything.
No, I was gonna say, hey, go check out the merch store in our bio here on twitch.tv in our about section.
Yeah.
You can also find it on our website, Rosemary PG Studios. Go check it out. Thanks.
Why?
Thanks for the plug. Anyways, well, you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening and a great Friday night and a great weekend. Yeah, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, guys. We love you. You're amazing.